Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Bad Moon's Orbit. I am, as always, your Ashen Elder, Dalton Montgomery.
And I'm Darian Smart from Wonderland and other places.
Oh. And we're back with more Helsmiths of Hashut. You heard us last episode talking about the big picture with our little chaos dwarfy, not friends.
Not friends.
Not
Absolutely,
friends.
distinctly not friends.
Not friends.
It feels like Games Workshop has worked very hard specifically to make not friends.
Yes.
They recognized that it was too damn cool, and they had to make them not friends.
They're so bad, but they're so neat. And I like talking about them. And we're doing that again today.
Hooray!
Like I said, we covered the big picture stuff last episode, a little preview for this episode. Then we're going to talk, there's a brand new army, so we're going to talk the actual models, the actual playable units a little bit. Not so much rules, but just talking about their narrative function of what is the narrative function of communicating oh, this is a faction that has lots of infantry but no cavalry, right?
Oh,
What
yeah.
is that? They have one unit in the whole army that can fly, for example. What's that kind of say, right? Then we're going to talk about the Great Ziggurat, which is my favorite. It's one of my favorite things I would read about taking the notes for this episode. And then we're going to talk about our famous face.
Just the one.
Just the one.
There's only
yep.
one.
New army.
Two new.
Yeah, we'll get some more eventually, I'm sure. But that's a little preview of the episode. But first, we didn't do this last episode because there's so much to cover. But I wanted to bring it back. We're going to talk about a game mechanic thing that's not Warhammer to break the ice. That's the thing we do every episode except for the last one. And for when we forget.
It's a thing we try to do every episode. Hey, Hades 2 is great. Surprising no one. Just kicks ass. I've only made it to Oceanus a handful of times. I just started playing. It's fine. I'll beat it eventually. I know how this works.
Yes.
Listen, I'm really vexed because I got to Oceanus and I was like, hadn't even used my one Death Defy. I had a really good build going. And I was like, this is great. And then, spoilers for Hades. And then Kronos got me 2 rooms in. And then it just absolutely was not prepared for that. And I got out of the time thing, but it wrecked my health. And I got eaten by a sea monster in the next room. And I was like, ugh. Okay, fine. Let's go again.
Yep.
All right, let's go again.
Just got to get back on the horse. Yep.
So,
yeah.
loving it so far.
Also been playing Hades 2. I picked it up again. I played it in early access, but I hit a point where I was just like, cool, now I'm going to wait for a 1.0 to come out. I did a couple runs yesterday because I was just feeling it. And had a couple of good runs. They put in a thing to make you play the game correctly, which frustrated me a little bit initially.
Yeah.
If you're too good at it, starting a new game, then once you hit the third zone the first time, if you haven't done X number of runs, then Eris shows up and she curses you so that all the enemies do more damage.
Wait, specifically if you're doing too well?
Yes. It's because
the only way to progress the plot is to die.
Yes, exactly. And so that you don't get all the way to the end and beat Kronos on your third run, right?
I can't imagine being that good at a video game. And I like this game very much. What weapon are you liking the best?
I have always been a huge fan of the when I played in early access as well, the paired daggers. They just do so much damage. You got to get in there close, but they do so much damage, and they connect best with the part of my brain that lights up when I'm playing a video game, which is the part where a bunch of things happen on screen very fast. So I had a build yesterday where I was playing with the paired daggers. I had boons from Hephaestus and Zeus.
Oh, nice.
And then I ran into Artemis and got every time you hit with a basic melee attack, it spawns an arrow.
Nice.
And so I would just dash into an enemy and I would hit them 12 times in the course of 3 seconds, and arrows would come off of them and lightning bolts would come off of them and all that other stuff. And all my Hephaestus boons were giving me temporary armor and stuff, so I could just leap at stuff with abandon without worrying about losing too much health.
That's very good.
It was a lot of fun. Good build.
Yep. I'm also using the sister blades.
Nice.
Because they're also, very good.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
Yeah, they're fun.
Really ooh, give me that staff. Give me that torch. What's that do?
Yes.
Because my best weapon in Hades 1 was the gun.
Yep. You're going to like the torches, yeah.
So that's what I want. But yeah, I like Hestia's boons very much.
Yes.
Especially the ones that make your cast do more damage or
Mm-hmm.
like draw people in, which was not one of Hestia's. Hestia's isn't the draw in one. I think that's Aphrodite draws them closer in. Hestia does like a flame. Anyway,
Yeah.
Hestia and Hermes
Mm-hmm.
are my favorite boons typically
Yes.
because I want to be faster.
Yes.
I need to be quicker, so they don't hit me.
I feel like some of these, I don't know how many were like in early access and I just missed them, or how many are new, but I really like all of the, like if you have so many boons of one person, then you pick up one from another one. Sometimes they'll get dialogue with each other.
Ooh,
yeah.
I'm excited for
It's
that.
so good. I got one with, because I had a bunch of Hephaestus's boons, and I found one of Zeus's, and Zeus was like, oh, like you've even managed to get my like shut in to like come out and help you out. And Hephaestus cuts him off and he's like, you've known her for like 10 minutes and you can't help but disparage me in front of the family. Like,
Oh, damn.
right? It's
That's
like,
good.
oh, the drama.
Yeah. I haven't gotten that. I've gotten the comments of, oh, yeah, I see such and such is also helping you, but I haven't had anyone cut in yet. That's very exciting. I love this
It's
game.
so good. It's so good.
Okay, side tangent. I'm a little mad that how dare they do this game where they're making me, a lesbian, romance the man first. All right? Moros?
Moros,
Yeah.
Doom. Yeah.
He's just like, no one's ever given him a present before. And I was like, because obviously I'm going to everyone nectar so I can get the thing. And then he's like, I've never been given a thing before. And I'm like, what? I'm going to buy you all the presents. And he's like nice and happy to see you and helpful. Whereas Nemesis is a bitch derogatorily.
Yes.
Like she's just mean and condescending and I don't like her.
Yeah.
And I don't want to spend any more time with her.
Right.
And she keeps stealing the boons that I fucking want. And it's making me mad.
She's just living up to her name. Like,
Which
she's
is like
just
fair,
doing her thing.
yeah. But like Megara is a fury, and she was also like kind of mean.
Yeah.
But like I didn't feel like she was. Here's the thing: is Nemesis is like condescending and like so dismissive of you, and Megara was just mad at Zagreus because he was making her life harder.
Yes. Yes.
And like that felt different. Like Thanatos was mad at Zagreus because he was feeling insecure.
Yeah.
And like that seemed fine. Like talk about it, and they do. Yeah. But like Nemesis is just mean, and I'm like, oh, listen, I got like 4 people here that I want to give presents to, and you're like not even on that list of 4.
Right.
Like I'm gonna give Odysseus a present for you because I gotta figure out what his deal is. Like, listen, Achilles, I got him back together with his husband. So once Odysseus is good, I would not have guessed that when I first saw Achilles in the house. Right. I was like, cool, it's Achilles. I was not prepared for I'm gonna get Achilles and Patroclus back together. So obviously I'm like, what do you got? That's like where I was like, I'll say like, Arachne, what's up with you?
Yes.
Oh, I'm so excited. Anyway, we should talk about the actual episode.
Should, yeah.
We've got a lot to go on, but Hades 2 is great.
Yes. Hades 2 is also going to be my thing, because, it's good.
Surprising no one, it's great.
It's really good. Supergiant Games, like...
They're good at what they do.
They're so good at what they do. If you haven't played Bastion, you should play Bastion. It's not it's their first game, and it's not, like, Greek myth themed, but... It's phenomenal. It's the thing they became known for. It's like the blueprint for what would become Hades.
Cool.
With the like nice narrator and the
Oh, nice. I will have to. Oh,
it's very good.
Side tangent. One more thing. I do like that they say, tell us who the narrator is.
Yeah.
Like, that was so fun when Melanoe's like, oh, Homer. And I'm like, it's Homer? Of course it's Homer. It's been Homer the whole time. Obviously it's Homer.
It's so good.
But, like, I never wondered who he was in the first game. Right. I was like, yes, there's a narrator. That's funny. It's Homer. Of course it's Homer. Okay, let's talk about the Chaos Dwarfs.
Yes. So, open it up with just real quick recap if you didn't, or if it's been 2 weeks since the previous episode. Chaos Dwarfs.
Listen, you can re-download the previous episode and listen
also
again.
True.
I'm just going to say
also
it.
True, yeah.
You don't remember what we covered. Congratulations. It's still in your podcatcher. Yeah. You can re-download it. And in fact, you should 6 times.
Chaos Dwarves. They don't think they're chaos. They are. Bind demons to their weapons. Mean. That's most of the recap. Yeah.
Mean-spirited.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what
Everything
it is.
belongs to them. That's the big note, right? Let's talk a little bit about like I said, army composition. So this is both game stuff and like lore stuff. That's the thing we love about Warhammer. It's not going to be like I'm not going to talk about every single unit in detail. Like I'm not going to go over like, oh, these are your infantry with swords and these are your infantry with spears, because that's not the thing that we're focused on. And we're focused on, like I said, what's the narrative utility. So starting with our like individual, what are called hero units in the game. This is like one guy by himself. Demon Smiths, we've already talked a lot about Demon Smiths in the previous episode. They are the like cornerstone of a Helsmith society because you need a demon smith to bind demons into stuff. The whole culture runs off of demons being bound into stuff.
And they're wizards.
Yes, they are wizards.
And they're turning to stone.
Yes. Not as a, like I said, not as a consequence of like anything dwarven in particular, but because of Hashut's fucked up like moral philosophy of power has to come at a price.
Okay, but like, hold on. Question.
Yeah.
Do they just think that, or is that the fact?
That is presented in that like omniscient narrator's voice.
Okay.
In the book. So it is presented as fact. It could be a way that they have chosen to interpret it.
But that doesn't happen to other dwarves.
It's true. Yes, there are other dwarves who are wizards.
You said
that doesn't happen
it was a thing in the old world that happened?
In the old world, it was implied or like outright stated that dwarves who did magic turned to stone, but I don't think it's a thing in AOS. I mean,
you definitely noticed there've been dwarves running around doing magic for a while.
I was gonna say.
Okay.
The wizards who turned the Lode Griffin to gold were dwarves, so that would have been like weird if they just learned magic to do that and didn't turn to stone or whatever, right? Like.
Okay, yeah, that guy's definitely not a dwarven god. He is a chaos demon. Like, he's a fucking demon. That doesn't make sense for you to turn your dudes into stone when it doesn't have to. It's not happening to anyone else.
Right. He's just an asshole.
I'm 100% convinced this is a demon.
Yeah. I think there's room for interpretation, which is what I think is so interesting.
Which is what's so.
Yeah.
But, like, and I'm not going to say if someone's like, no, I don't think so. I'm like, that's cool, man. I think he's a demon.
But yes, demon smiths bind demons into weapons, bind demon into artifice and like constructs as well. That's a big backbone of Helsmith. Both like civil and military life is these kind of like demon powered constructs that they build.
Demon toaster?
A little bit.
Okay.
More like demon forklift.
You're saying they don't have toasters? Canonically?
Probably not. It feels like a lot.
Do they eat bread?
I don't know, actually.
How are they making their food?
I was going to say, we don't get a lot on their, like, I'm assuming they don't practice agriculture, because that would be wild.
But they have to practice agriculture. Where is the food coming from?
They might have, like, minor agriculture, or they might practice, like, ranching. Like, I can't picture them, like, sowing a field of grain. Right,
I guess.
But they might have like mushroom caves where they grow like edible mushrooms or like keep livestock. It feels like anything that they would do would have to be very industrial.
How big is this? Is it a civilization?
Helsmith, they're centralized around their ziggurats.
Right,
and they aren't well known outside their ziggurats, so they're not like big. Like there's not a ton of them.
Because we talked about there are children, which means there is like a structure of society.
Yes.
So that's why I was like, where's the food then?
Right.
Okay.
It's got to be something where they're keeping like pen animals that they can keep underground or like growing like subterranean crops that don't require that they can automate, right?
That makes sense. Yeah, the automation. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
No Helsmith would content themselves with like a quiet pastoral life, right? Is the
that makes sense. Absolutely. Okay. So they don't have bread.
Probably not. Yeah, unless you can make like a mushroom bread. That might be good.
Would it?
Maybe.
Okay, sorry.
Dalton's not a food person.
We have so much to talk about, and I'm refusing to let us get on with the point.
You're fine. That's the point of the show. So, something about the Stone Curse, because we talked about it a little bit last episode, I wanted to mention. We have a description of someone who's like been afflicted by the Stone Curse, like kind of describing the process. And they say that it can take centuries for the Stone Curse to fully claim somebody.
Okay.
So it's not like you do magic for a little bit and then you're dead, because that would be against like Hashut's grand design. He doesn't want his sorcerers to burn out really fast.
Yeah.
He just wants to communicate to them that everything always comes at a price because he has a bad moral philosophy. Right. And so the same sorcerer can go for centuries before the Stone Curse like turns them fully to stone, but that is not a like, oh, I've held out for centuries and now I'm finally done. That is a like, you lose parts of yourself as it progresses. Like talking about like, oh, just your like chest muscles turn to stone, and so your arms don't move very well anymore, and it's a little bit hard to breathe because you basically just have like a big slab on the front of your chest.
I was like, this is the kind of thing where once it reaches your heart, you're done, or
yes, but that seems to be the last, like, because it's a thing intentionally inflicted by Hashut, like, it's not going to kill you early, right? You're going to lose fingers before you lose organs, right?
Okay, because again, I feel like the kind of thing a chaos demon would think is so fucking funny.
Yes.
Is that not only are these dwarves doing, like, binding the demons to the objects is bad for the dwarves.
Yes.
But, like, to inflict the dwarves who are actually doing it with this horrible thing slowly over time, because if you wipe them all out, then they're not going to be able to keep doing the thing that corrupts everybody, not just the wizards. But telling him, it's because all magic comes with a price, dearie. And I cannot believe I got to make a Once Upon a Time reference in the episode where I did Once Upon a Time as my intro. That wasn't an Alice in Wonderland reference. That was a Once Upon a Time season 7 reference.
It's so deep.
I used to have a Once Upon a Time podcast. Go listen to Entering Storybook if you wanted to stop halfway through season 2. No, the point I'm trying to make is it feels like would be so funny to watch these dwarves continue to accept the suffering in order to continue to do the thing that is harming them.
Yes.
Like, they could, it would be like, they're so stupid. I'm literally killing them slowly over time for this thing that's already killing them. And they're just doubling down. Like, that, it feels like a thing that a chaos demon would find so funny.
Yes. And it's a continuation of the philosophy that sees them, like, pouring pollution into their, like, cities and stuff. It's that, like you said, is they keep doing the thing that causes them suffering so that they can keep doing the thing that causes them suffering.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's just self-perpetuating circles of harm. And specifically, the reason I think, like I said, I don't know very much about chaos dwarves in the old world, but the reason I think it's really clever that the thing specifically that affects, like, chaos dwarf wizards is turning to stone. It's them slowly becoming, like, inanimate objects.
Yes.
Right? Because that's the thing they're doing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. When again, does really feel like slow revenge from a chaos demon who would think it's so funny.
This didn't come up in the last episode, but I feel like it's important to mention. It is portrayed in the book, but this is from, like, Helsmith's perspective.
Okay.
It is portrayed as a matter of pragmaticism, but there is a note that demon smiths try, whenever possible, to capture and bind demons that are not strongly aligned to any of the chaos gods.
Right. You don't want to piss someone off by accident.
Exactly. Because there are just, like, unaligned demons. They're numerous, but they're not very powerful because being
they're not like getting. They're like a warlock without a patron.
Yeah, exactly. Mostly they're furies, is what they are, or they're called, or it's just like an imp with wings. Like, that's mostly what furies are.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah, and so that's generally what Helsmiths try and grab. Occasionally, they'll grab, like, a chaos god aligned demon because they're trying to do something specific, like if they're trying to make a weapon that eats away at and destroys, like, the armor of their foes, they might try and grab a Nurgle demon for that specifically. Because
that makes sense.
Stagnation and decay and that kind of thing.
You don't want to do that too many times. You don't want a chaos demon, like, king god, looking too closely at what you're doing over here.
Yes. But yeah, like I said, exactly. The taking demons and binding them into stuff is literally, like, objectifying in the literal sense where you're turning them into objects. And that also is the fate that befalls sorcerers, which feels very much like a karmic punishment. Yes, right. Interesting to think about. Sorcerer, demon smiths who turn fully to stone. Is
there a gallery?
It depends, because there's one of two fates that await a demon smith who turns fully to stone, and it depends on how successful they were. Because that's sense. The whole, if you were a well-renowned demon smith and you created many vast things and you were well respected, or at least, like, people were jealous of you, which is often as close as, like, Helsmith society can get to respect, right? Then you are put atop the Ziggurat. You are placed as a statue on the Ziggurat as a mix of, like, admiration, like you're being displayed as a statue in the same way you would erect any statue, and also as a warning that this is the fate that awaits you if this is the path you pursue. It all comes at a price, right? Again, the extension of that. If you were a demon smith that nobody particularly liked and sucked, then your body is smashed and used to fuel the furnaces.
What kind of stone is this?
Just seems like stone, but it has some kind of magical properties because they do, like, put it in the furnaces. I
was gonna say, I
do
couldn't just take some granite and maybe I could. I don't know anything about rocks.
No, not really. Yeah, it's silica, but it's
Because I was also gonna ask, like, what about erosion? Weren't you outside on the Ziggurat?
I think it's some level of magically protected, but it could just be also that they have, because it's very Helsmith to also just like have someone whose job it is to keep all the like turned to stone wizards like polished and nice.
Someone's going out there and dusting them twice a
Yeah.
week.
If we're being real, we're going to talk about them a little bit later, but the Helsmiths work with hobgrots,
Okay.
and so it's probably their job if we're being real.
What's a hobgrot?
It's a goblin, but a little bit bigger.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, because goblins are grots and
Grots and a
AOS.
hobgoblin.
Yeah, it's a hobgoblin.
I hate that so much. Go on. Okay, focus up. Focus
Yes,
up.
yeah, you're good. Yeah, demon smithing sucks. We talked about this last episode. Demon smithing sucks. That's why like only Dwarden can do it, because you got to stay focused for like a week straight, chanting and incanting and carving sigils. And if you mess up even a little bit, then you die.
And so does everybody else in the room next to you.
Yes, absolutely. The last big note on demon smiths is demon smiths who are particularly, that fun little halfway point between being self-aggrandizing and stupid, pride and stupidity, I guess, can those who crave true recognition and power will create kind of the pinnacle of like demon smithing artifice.
Okay.
Combination of, look at this incredibly cool thing I made that took an immense amount of skill to make, and you all have to look at it because it's my like mount that I ride around on all the time now. Yep.
All right.
That is an infernal Taurus. The bull is Hashut's holy animal.
Oh shit, that's cool.
Right. An infernal Taurus requires hundreds of demons to be bound into it for it to properly function. Because it doesn't have like gears and cogs and levers and stuff, right? Like the kind of things where normally you could get away with only using a couple of demons because you only have to apply force in a couple of places. Every inch of that construct is being like enchanted with and bound by like demonic souls so that it can move like a real animal.
That's really cool.
Right.
These are making me think of the Cloacus Bulls from the Jason and the Argonaut story, where they're like, in my mind, mechanical bulls, because they've got like bronze hooves and they breathe fire.
Yes.
But sometimes they are just like fleshy bulls with bronze hooves and bronze mouths that let them breathe fire. Yeah. But I definitely think it's a Percy Jackson thing where it's like, Hephaestus built these, and so it's like an automaton bull.
Yeah.
But that's the vibes I'm getting, except with wings, and that's a good touch.
Yes. Like I said, they will fly into them on battle. They're their only flying unit in the whole army.
Yeah, and that's weird for dwarves, right? Because the other guys are like steampunk sky pirates.
I was gonna say Zharrdron have almost exclusively flying units. I think there's only like 2 KO units that can't fly.
Fascinating. So it's like literally the opposite.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, though Fire Slayers don't have any flying units.
Oh, right. I keep forgetting there's also these guys.
Yeah, because there are footbound berserker dwarves.
That's right.
So it's kind of a
behind the wheel of
mix.
a flying machine.
Yeah, it's kind of a mix of like what a faction prioritizes a little bit based on whether they have like a lot of flight.
Okay,
right?
And this one does not.
Yeah. Just the Tauruses, pretty much.
That's pretty.
But yeah, hundreds of demons bound, thousands of perfectly carved runes, perfectly spoken chants, and if you make even a tiny mistake, the Taurus explodes.
Oh, of course,
and you die, and like all the demons come out at once. You die.
Everybody on the block dies.
Exactly, absolutely. So it's a testament to, it's literally just like master's thesis that you get to ride everywhere so everyone can see that you wrote it, right?
It's a pretty good master's thesis.
Right? Like,
don't forget, these guys suck.
Yep.
But also, it's pretty great.
Next, so that's sorcerers, right? That's our wizards of the Helsmiths. They're integral to Helsmith society on the level of like, this is what the society needs to function, and they are lauded for that. Like,
nice.
demon smiths live very prestigious, like well-rewarded lives. They're often adorned in finery, and like they get all the nicest stuff because they are what keeps this whole engine running, right? No more demon smiths, no more Helsmiths.
Yep, we need that.
Yes.
So what about everyone else?
So the other side of that coin, the other side of our like expert class who like knowledge that other people don't have, they're integral to Helsmith society, are the Ashen Elders.
Cool name. Okay.
Yes. Ashen Elders, as opposed to Demon Smiths, are our priestly caste.
Okay.
So Demon Smiths are the industry side. They can speak on the things that Hashut likes, and they can do the things that Hashut likes, but they are not interpreters of his will. They don't keep the scriptures. They don't write the slabs. They don't have authority when it comes to matters of religious dominance.
Okay.
Ashen Elders, it's a weird interesting power struggle where demon smiths are like the fuel for your industry. They're the thing that keeps Helsmiths relevant and active in the world, but Ashen Elders outrank them in terms of like supposed value. Right.
Okay. Yeah.
Where many demon smiths...
Let me guess who writes the rules.
Yeah, exactly. Demon smiths will always defer to an Ashen Elder in matters of faith, and they will grit their teeth and defer to them in matters of like official, like what we should be doing because they're the spiritual authorities. But it's very unseen university and Ankh-Morpork, where the demon smiths agree to do anything the Ashen Elders tell them, as long as the Ashen Elders agree not to tell them to do anything. Kind of is the vibe, right? Where it's like, we respect that you are the people.
You're clearly in charge. Don't ever test that.
Yes, absolutely. If push came to shove, we're the ones building war machines.
That's where I was like, right? It's like, yeah, you are in charge, but also, are you really?
Right, exactly. And we see that reflected in when we start talking about the great ziggurats. We'll see that reflected where like every ziggurat has an Ashen Elder, but it has hundreds of demon smiths, and only one of them really seems to take the Ashen Elder seriously, right?
Interesting. Okay.
Yes. The priestly caste of the Helsmiths is called the Dresgar, which is just like people of the fiery faith, because Hashut. Ashen Elders are specifically the highest ranking members of that. So there's many people of the Dresgar. That's just being a priest. That's just being a cleric of Hashut. But Ashen Elders are your archbishops. They're your like top of the chain. Know them when you see them.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And an Ashen Elder's biggest like denotation, the thing that makes them an Ashen Elder and the thing that makes them notable, is the wielding of what are known as the Black Hammers.
All right. That's pretty cool.
Right. So we have an interesting, again, this little almost feels like a joke, like a demon joke, right? Like the stone curse thing. So hammers are a symbol of Grungni. Like Grungni is
they are.
Yes, Grungni is the maker god. They are his like divine symbol. And so Helsmiths on principle don't like hammers. While hammers are necessary in like the forgecraft they do try and industrialize away from them. That's why we talked about like the plate stamping like steel swords and stuff. Like whenever possible, they try and get them out of their processes because that's a profane thing. It's the symbol of their enemy.
This place sucks.
Yep. But the exception are black hammers. So Helsmith would never wield a hammer to war because, again, that's like...
That's Grungni's vibe.
Exactly. But Ashen Elders will, because a black hammer is a profane thing. It is a thing that has specifically been made to trash like Grungni, basically.
Okay.
To make a black hammer, you forge it in like the normal ways. They have to be artisan craft. They can't be mass produced. And as part of the forging process, when you're making something out of metal, you like quench it, like you hit it and then you dip it in the water. Yeah, exactly. The quenching process. Black hammers are quenched in the blood of other dwarven priests.
Oh,
Yep.
Okay.
Specifically, priests of Grungni make the most potent ones.
Oh my god.
So they kidnap priests of Grungni and quench these hammers in their blood.
Oh my god.
When I call them a profane thing, like...
Okay. Hey, what the fuck,
right,
y'all?
Right.
Listen, they're not good and they're bad and they're mean-spirited and they get rid of babies that have weird mutations because their whole society is full of demon corruption, and that's wild. But also, how are they standing here being like, we're the good guys while they're kidnapping fellow dwarves?
It's just
and cutting their throats.
It's just that you can justify anything when you've decided that your enemy is like the worst, right?
Yeah. Was that the dehumanization thing? That's the first step? People as things?
Yes, absolutely. Again, dehumanization is a big theme with the Helsmiths. They're putting demons in their weapons. They're using, they're using demon, and you can see how the line of thought coalesces, right? Like, we already put demons in our weapons. What's a person? Like, what's killing one person for this thing?
That's the thing. Because it's like you say, they use demons and put them in their weapons. And we're like, that's kind of badass. Because demons are bad. Like, they are factually bad. This is not like a matter of debate. This is not like a suppressed class of people. No. This is not. They are an inherently malicious force
Yeah,
that will destroy.
Yes,
They're like the
barely
demons in
sentient.
Free Reign.
They're just
Yeah, this is not a maybe if one was raised away from that. No, they're all bad. So
Yes.
we, like on the surface, like I don't feel bad about that. That's
No, yeah.
kind of great.
Yeah.
But you're right. They're still a sentient living thing.
Yes.
And while if we're gonna, because you can't kill a demon, they're just gonna go back to
Yes.
the chaos realm.
Yes.
But like putting them within a weapon
Mm-hmm.
is so much more cruel
Yes.
and terrible
Yes.
than eliminating them outright off of
Yes.
your plane of existence. And that's, you're right. It's like, it's still like, while demons are bad,
Yeah.
they are still living,
Yes.
right? They're still sentient. And so being okay with doing that to any living thing, like you said, you justify it. Then right, if you justify, it's like, well, it's because demons are bad and they are
Yes.
corrupted force and they're going to do harm, like Grungni over
Yes,
there, who
yes,
sucks.
that's what
So
it is,
obviously,
yeah.
if you follow him, you're also as corruptive
Yep.
as a demon,
Yep.
right? And that's like, well, they would fucking do it to a Stormcast if they could get their
Yeah.
hands on one, I'm sure.
We throw the imperfect babies in the garbage.
Mm-hmm.
We don't care that our like smog and pollution and stuff harms our citizens to an end.
Mm-hmm.
So why would we balk at doing harm to our enemy for a purpose, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's very much the yeah,
Because it's not harm, it doesn't count.
exactly. So yep, that's how you make a black hammer, and black hammers cannot, like, anything you hit with them like crumbles. It is a hammer that can only destroy. That is the intent.
yep.
That's the affront to the maker god.
It's not like the duality of it can be used for
Yes.
both. It is only used for the opposite of the thing it's designed for.
Yes.
Hey, are they black because of the blood, or is that like an aesthetic thing they add later?
It's because of the blood. It's because you quench them in blood.
Would that happen in real life?
No, I don't think so.
I mean, I didn't think so either, but like,
yeah, it's just an evocative name as well.
yeah, but it's like, oh, they're black because they dip them in the blood, and that's why I was like, is it because they dip them in the blood they are black, or they just do the blood thing and then they like make them black, they like spray
Right.
paint them afterwards? I'm just curious as to like what was the in-law reason for like the coloring. Like, did they say we should make a black hammer and then like they intended to make the design? No, it's because of the blood. And like that's what obviously the next step is like, would that happen in real life? And like, no, I know, but I still had to ask.
Oh yeah. And maybe it would. I don't know anything about blacksmithing.
We got a blacksmith in the audience. Can you let us know?
Yeah,
What would
please-
happen if
please
you
let us know.
quenched it in blood?
Yeah. We have a demon smith on foot, so just one not on the Taurus. I like the model. So
I like the
show it.
book.
Yeah,
That's
right.
wild.
And then that's an Ashen Elder beneath him.
With the black hammer.
Yes.
Yeah?
Only model in the whole army that has a hammer, because
Oh, because
that's
they
the
would.
bit.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
I almost started turning pages.
So that's our like heroes. Like I said, it's a brand new army. We don't have a ton of them. So those are that's really there's also war despots, but they're just guys.
Okay.
They're just big guys.
Just big dudes.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're solo guys who are good at fighting. You could use them to help your like normal infantry. They're usually high-ranking members of the like noble families that Helsmiths have.
Oh, yeah.
But that's kind of where the interesting stuff ends. So now we're going to talk about likely the thing. Like, if you're going to get into this army, this is probably the thing that drew you here, because it's a very unique thing amongst the Helsmiths. We're going to talk about war machines.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah. So war machine is also like an Age of Sigmar game term. It's just anything that's a machine. It's anything that's like tailor built. From a gameplay perspective, they tend to be a little bit more protected from like targeted rules, right? Like, you're more commonly going to find something that's good against infantry or something that's good against monsters, but stuff that's good against war machines is rare because there's just not a lot of them. So that offers it a level of protection. And then also it communicates something about like the difference between a culture that has monsters in their army and a culture that has war machines in their army says something about who they are. And this book gives us our first instance of both, because Infernal Taurus are the first thing in Age of Sigmar, period, to have two unit types, because they're both monsters and war machines.
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
Right? Again, it tells us something about, like, it is a thing that was constructed. It was a thing that was crafted with intent and skill, and also it is a wild thing. It is a hard to control thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that a lot. But let's talk about the straightforward war machines.
Okay.
We have 2 variations on like classic artillery. This is the kind of thing that it's slow, it's big, you set it up somewhere and it shoots a guy who's far away. Tormentor bombards have a good name.
Pretty good name.
Yes, they are bombards, which my layman understanding just means like a particularly large cannon. Though technically they're not cannons, they're mortars, but it's fine. A cannon shoots straight, a mortar shoots up. Yeah.
Fireworks.
Yeah, well, a mortar, yeah, exactly. That's why you call like an aerial firework a mortar.
Yeah.
Traditionally, like a mortar's meant to shoot over a wall, whereas a cannon's supposed to shoot through
the wall.
Yes.
Okay.
Tormentor bombards fire raw chaos magic. They do not have shells in them. They just fire concentrated chaos magic to like kind of zany effect almost.
I would imagine.
Like if this was a Skaven weapon, that would be played up, but it's not.
Yeah.
Right. It's a Helsmith weapon. So they don't have perfect control over what they do, but they try and like tune what they want the bombard to do when it hits.
Okay.
Right. Most of the time, if they're shooting like a soft target, like if you hit a line of infantry with raw chaos magic, they're all going to die. The details of that are going to be different, but like whether it's their lungs all growing legs and trying to run away, or like their skin turning to gold or whatever, like it's just going to kill them in a bad way.
Okay.
But they can tune a little bit for what they want to do specifically. So the one example we get is Helsmith's post Hour of Ruin raided an area called Grimnir's Firehold. There's a bunch of Fire Slayers fortresses and stuff in there, and they had a huge like exterior wall made out of basalt that they had like formed the lava flows into to create. So it was one giant unbroken chain of like basalt fortification, which is very cool. And they shot bombards at it to transmute the basalt into glass.
Oh, shit.
Yes. And it worked because they transmuted the basalt into glass and then they broke it. And so now you have a bunch of dwarves who were standing on a solid basalt wall standing on a broken glass wall.
Yeah, that's less good.
Yep.
Way less secure.
Yep.
Talk about a security breach.
Right. Our other artillery version is Death Shrieker rocket batteries.
That's a pretty good name.
Yeah, right. They fire kind of like not quite guided missiles. They don't quite have that like capability, but more like missile adjacent. Like they have fins, they have like head tips.
Okay.
Because they're meant to pierce and then like break. They're tipped with, the book calls them globules, which I know is like a real word, but it's very funny.
Globule's not a real word. That's how you just describe a real weird piece of phlegm. Those are globules.
It's a globule.
It's just a sound I made to try to communicate a vibe. Which I guess is what words are.
Yeah, right. It's the same root word as globe. That's the whole.
Well, yeah.
But no, yeah.
Don't just use it in casual conversation.
No.
Globule.
One of the Skaven infantry units are globadiers because they throw little poison globes at people.
Oh, globadier is actually cute as hell.
Globadier's fun, right?
I like that one very much.
Right. But Death Shrieker rockets are tipped with globules containing Hashuzar, which is a quote semi-sentient fire.
How semi?
After it hits and like the globules break open, the fire seeks out the living.
Oh shit!
Yeah, yeah.
Bad.
Right.
See, I said how sentient, and I was looking for like a level, and actually the answer of how, the answer is evil.
Yes, it's bad. Malevolent semi-sentient fire.
Oh my God.
Quote directly from the book: the fire is actively malicious and will seek a victim rapidly, but burns slowly once it's found one.
I just don't like these guys.
No, they're bad.
They just, again, mean-spirited.
Yes.
Wildly unnecessary.
Yes. But that's we're going to see the fire a little bit later.
Okay.
Because it's a kind of a running theme. But those are like 2 versions of artillery. Our last big war engine. I'm making like a big deal out of all these because they are interesting, but there's so little because it's a new army. But our last big war machine are Dominator engines.
Okay.
Yes. So Dominator engine is interesting because it's one part like war construct, like it is a thing that you have built to do your like military will, and it's 3 parts holy effigy.
Oh,
it is a idol to Hashut, and it is a thing.
this makes sense.
Yeah, is first a thing you have built as an object of worship. It is masterfully crafted. Every piece is where it's supposed to be. You have forged demons into it. And on top of that, you have crafted it in the image of the bull. You have made it look like Hashut's holy animal, a thing that is uniquely reserved for engines of war.
Ooh.
Because there are other constructs that the Helsmiths will use, like in the forges and their practices of just making stuff and whatnot, but those don't get to look like anything. Those don't get to bear Hashut's holy icon. They don't get to bear like the mark of the bull because they are lesser. They're tools.
Okay.
You wouldn't make a hammer, period, but you wouldn't make tongs look like a bull. You wouldn't make an anvil look like a bull.
Because they're cowards.
Yeah. Because because the making of things isn't an object of worship for them. That's the thing of the enemy. Like, it's what you destroy with the things you have made. Yes.
Like their philosophy.
Yes. Dominator engines are terrifying because they, quote, seep misfortune.
Ooh, it's
right?
It's getting everywhere. It's so sticky. Someone get a towel.
They just give off bad luck.
Just bad vibes.
Yes.
Rancid.
A Dominator engine is not complete until a fatal accident has occurred during its construction.
Neat.
Yes. Like, it's not a sacrifice. It's not like this needs a blood thing to make it work.
It's
someone
accident.
has to die on accident while making this for it to work right. Like
a true accident, or can you set someone up and they just don't know it's going to be them?
You don't have to set someone up because they seep misfortune.
That's
someone
true.
Is going to die of an accident.
They're going to get
yes.
final destination.
Yes,
okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, they always cause some accidents during their construction, and they impose such potent bad luck on their surroundings that Zharrdron who accidentally touch them usually chop off that hand rather than tempt like whatever bad.
Yeah, sure. I'm sure that'll solve the problem.
Them, right? But we have an excellent image of one being assembled here where they're putting the like.
Oh.
Yeah, they're putting Hashut's.
BioShock.
Right. They're putting the bull head on it, like at the last part of the construction process.
I can see. Okay.
Yeah.
It was taking my brain a minute to like figure out what was going on.
Yes.
Find strength in spites.
Yes.
I mean, also sames though. You know what? I'm coming back around again. You know, they got me again.
The sign of a good villain is that you can kind of see, even if you can't be like, okay, I get it, you could at least see like the chain of logic, right?
Listen, find strength in spite is how I handle my resentment towards my ex. So.
But those are our war machines. Dominator engines are great. They come in the like launch box, so you're gonna see a bunch of them around. You can put either cannons on them or like big maces, and that's fun. Like,
that's pretty cool.
They have a bunch of like fire effects on their actual model, which is always a fun time for painting.
Yeah.
Right?
There's a lot of like fire.
Yes.
Going on, so I bet that's super cool.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna think about like, am I gonna do a red fire? There's a lot of green fire in the book.
Yeah.
But maybe I want to do like a blue fire. Like you've got options for fire.
There's like a tutorial in the book on how to do fire effects because
that's so smart.
They imagine it's probably a lot of people's first time doing like a fire effect, which is cool.
I really like that that's in the book.
Right.
That's really thoughtful.
Right. It's good. Let's talk about our infantry. Infantry are going to make up the bulk of like most Helsmith forces because fundamentally infantry is just a guy you've handed a weapon to, right? Like infantry's going to make up the bulk of most forces unless they're like hyper specialized because it's a guy you handed a weapon to, right? So your basic infantry are called the cohort. They're just melee infantry. We talked about last episode that the cohort fight with shields, but they use them exclusively offensively because to adopt or learn any defensive fighting techniques would be an admission that something was capable of hurting you, of besting you, and that's unthinkable.
So exhausting.
There's so much, yeah.
So, gosh.
And they keep that like callousness that runs through the rest of Helsmith society, where their fighting tactics is like you form the shield line and you march forward, and if someone stumbles, you walk over them because they were too weak. They're disposable. Grind against opponents like callous gears of industry is the quote from the book.
Yeah, it's just a bad place to be.
Yes. But that's the main thing about the cohort. Their friends on the other side are razors. That's raise like burn a city down, not raise like shave your face. Yep.
Yep.
And that is just, this is a guy we've handed a gun instead of a sword. Razors also come into, so the host can have spears or swords. The lore implication there isn't important. Sometimes you want a sword, sometimes you want a spear.
Sure.
Razors is a little bit more. They can have blunderbusses that fire parts of demon essence. So reloading a Helsmith blunderbuss means binding a new demon to it because you just use up like parts of demon every time you fire it.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
When they use it all up, does the demon reform in chaos? Or?
Yes. Yeah. It's probably horrifying to the demon being slowly like shot out of a gun, though.
Yeah. I mean,
not great. Yeah. Quote from the book is they fire parts of demon essence to shred both body and soul. Right. And the other option are flamethrowers.
Man, I bet Nagash gets pissed if he shows up with damaged souls.
Right.
What the fuck? That's my job. And Sigmar's.
Yeah. The other ones are their flamethrowers. They shoot that same semi-sentient fire. Like, that's yeah, right? Like, I told you they were coming back.
I'm so scared of the evil semi-sentient fire.
Bad Calcifer.
Just bad Calcifer.
Oh, he's going to get you.
Oh, no! People sound like Billy Crystal.
Oh, no. To me, the most interesting thing about razors is that they are like plentiful. Like the Helsmiths love their like ranged firepower, but the actual people doing the work of razors are lowborn. They're the lower of those like noble houses and families and stuff because the glory is in being melee infantry. Yeah, that is the image of the like Khazalid Empire, is the like sword and shield dwarf on the front line. And so even though razors are essential to like the Helsmith military structure, it is not prestigious. It is not like glorifying, right? Like, and then Hobgrots we're going to talk about briefly, even though we'll talk about them more in the other Orc episode and the Cruel Boys episode because we get them with the other half of Orcs.
That makes sense.
More frequently as well. Hobgrots are a like Gorkamorka aligned peoples. They're like a variation of goblins. They're a little bit bigger. They're a little bit wily. Their big thing is that they are more willing to work outside of destruction like forces. Like they'll work with orcs and other goblins. They'll work with Helsmiths, self-evidently.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, y'all shouldn't be here.
Right. But they'll also work with, like, human populations and stuff. Like, there's a whole Hobgrot information network in Gur where human settlements will pay them in, like, scrap and, like, craft work and stuff to let them know where the, like, big orc clans are moving to.
It's good to know.
Yeah.
That is very good to know.
Yeah, because the Hobgrots can just hang out with the orcs and they just go to the nearest city and they're like, yeah, they're heading up the plains. And then they give them stuff.
Cool.
So very, Hobgrots are not green.
It's like, I'm picturing just a lot of sheet metal.
Yeah.
It's probably not much. It. I get it. But like, I was just imagining them like carrying off like sheet metal.
I mean, probably, honestly. They do like their sheet metal. Hobgrots are not green, which is important.
Whoa.
Yeah. That's an important thing. It's part of why they kind of work amongst the other like peoples a little bit, is because the internal story so the Orc Warclans book is narrated from the perspective of a human Wildercorpse hunter, which is a ranger type, you're like Aragorn type, who is interviewing a Hobgrot. And so we get like orc lore third hand, but it's kind of an interesting
interview
framing.
With the vampire before Warhammer AOS.
A little bit, where it's just like there's interesting stuff where like the Hobgrot talks about Kragnos with reverence because he's just like always the biggest and the strongest and the most terrifying, and that's awesome to me. Whereas the Wildercore hunter is like was at the siege of Excelsior, so it's just like that's the most terrifying, horrifying thing I ever lived through, and that's like crazy. This is like a crazy dichotomy for me to live through. It's very well written. I'm a big fan of that whole framing device. But the story that Hobgrot tells the Wildercore hunter for why Hobgrots aren't green is that when orcs and goblins split up, the first Hobgrot went to Gork and offered to spy on Mork for him, and Gork was so offended that he took his green away. And then that Grot's descendants were all the Hobgrots.
What? Do they just have like a variety of complexions a la other races, or are they all just...
Nah, they're like orange. Yeah. I don't know why.
Good!
Yeah.
Because the opposite of green is orange.
Yeah.
And listen, did you feel that in your soul, how right I was when I said that statement? The opposite of green is orange. That is all.
I'm just going to acknowledge it because we'll get a comment otherwise. It's opposite. Red is opposite on the color wheel, but orange is better.
Right.
Yeah.
But like
No,
that
no, no,
doesn't
yes.
feel the same.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. We don't want them to be Christmas. We want them to feel different.
The
yes.
opposite of red is blue. The opposite of green is orange.
Yeah, you got it.
I know they both have yellow in it. I don't care. In your soul, you know I'm right.
Hobgrots aren't part of the like Helsmith.
The opposite of yellow is purple.
That's just true.
Okay, I'm done.
No, you're fine.
Lock it.
Hobgrots aren't part of the Helsmith hierarchical structure. They generally don't live in like side the Ziggurat and stuff. They're just like on contract, basically.
Okay.
Most Hobgrots just like choose to work with other people. They don't really have their own like structures and stuff. Like there's not a Hobgrot army.
Okay.
You can use Hobgrots in a Helsmith's army or in a Cruel Boys army.
Okay.
Yeah. And so the difference is usually just like, are you willing to have less autonomy for better loot? Is why you would join Helsmiths instead of Cruel Boys, right? Because like a Hobgrot can rise through the ranks in the Cruel Boy army, where Cruel Boys value like cunning and scheming and stuff more than like size and physicality. But they live in gross, dirty swamps that nobody likes, and they mostly raid people for food. And so you could raise high in this kind of like you can raise high, but the ceiling there, ceiling there's not great. Whereas with Helsmiths, like, you're going to be treated like garbage, like, because Helsmiths don't like anybody, especially not non-dwarves. Like, for how much they hate other dwarves, like, everybody else just isn't even a consideration. But you might be able to nick some good, like, fine quality stuff after a fight. Like, that's really what it is like, your pay is nothing and everything you can steal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I can see where they're coming from.
Yep. And then last thing we're going to talk about, we already talked about them a little bit. We got bull centaurs.
They were cool.
Yeah, bull centaurs are
they're
super
horrifying,
important.
but they're really cool.
Bull centaurs are super important to Helsmith culture. They are raised in the catacombs beneath Zharrdron, which is one of our great ziggurats. And they are treated as like prisoner royalty, basically, or like a exotic animal exhibit, basically, where they have fine silk bedding and the best food and beautiful, like, luscious spaces that they get to like inhabit, and they can do whatever they want except leave, because they're holy animals. They're sacred cows is the bit.
Fucking
right?
yikes.
Yep.
Just talk about a gilded cage.
Yes. Almost all of them develop horrifying superiority complexes because they are treated like divinity, just basically from the moment they're born. But chaos corruption runs deep. Bull centaurs are a mutation, and so they're suffused with chaos magic, and that manifests in most of them as a desire to inflict harm.
Oof.
And so it is not an uncommon sight for the Helsmiths to like check the catacombs where all the bull centaurs are raised and find like the finest silks and like all these nice decorations and stuff just utterly ruined by like blood and viscera and just the aftermath of bull centaurs fighting each other.
Fuck.
Basically, right? Again, it's intentionally like contrasting like sacred imagery with like brutal reality is kind of the idea. Bull centaurs, we touched upon briefly with the like noble families thing, but all Helsmiths are tied into this system of like oaths and promises and obligations and whatnot, right? Where your duty as a Helsmith is to contribute to the greater whole, whether that be working the forges or like rising up as a demon smith or becoming part of the, like, everyone has to pull their weight where the weight keeps getting artificially heavier, right? Like oath bound. Bull centaurs are wholly separate from that system.
Interesting.
They don't have any obligations. They don't have to swear any oaths. They are Hashut's holy like emissaries, right? And so they are called upon to march to war when necessary because that is part of Hashut's domain.
Yeah.
But no one can command them. You just let the bull centaurs loose and they pick the targets they're going to fight.
Interesting.
Yeah. That often gets them killed.
I was going to say, that's
because
they're just going to go for the shiniest thing around, probably.
Yes, they're going to go for the biggest target because they have god complexes about, and no military training.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because they just live lives of luxury. They're huge chaos mutants, so they are extremely dangerous. but they're not. Yeah, like they're not good at military stuff.
Yeah, but like these fucking dwarves are also so stupid because it's like, yeah, you can still give them life's luxury, and then on Tuesday we all go to military training class,
Right.
and you learn like combat skills and shit like that, and then you'd be better on the bat. You could kill more things.
It would be an affront to try and teach Hashut's holy like emissaries anything. To put yourself in a position of power over them. So most bull centaurs are just
what I'm
kind
saying
of,
is like if one dude could just live long enough to become like the trainer, like the like they're already centaurs.
Yeah.
So where's our trainer of heroes centaur? I know, they're Babylonian. I got it. I got the imagery. They're ziggurats.
So most bull centaurs are just that like kind of spoiled rich kid, like I've gotten this far by being so like big and dangerous, like imagery where they go and they fight a battle and then they self-aggrandize and they go home and they eat a bunch and sleep on their nice silk like sheets. But and like a lot of bull centaurs are like not like unreligious, but like Eastern Christmas like religious, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Where like they are Hashut's quote unquote holy emissaries, but they are that just by virtue of existing.
Right, they have to earn it. They don't work for it.
Yeah.
They don't do any sort of like I'm sure the priests have to do like jump through hoops to get there to prove themselves.
Yes. I'd care for the bull centaurs is one of the things you have to do to become an Ashen Elder.
Damn!
Yeah, right? Like, again, it's like full, because like bull centaurs don't wash themselves. They get scrubbed down like horses do by like parts of the Hashut priesthood, right?
Do we have just like a demon-infused power washer?
I mean, probably they don't go into it, but I would assume so. Maybe not actually, because Zharrdron's a little bit like anti-tech. They're not anti-tech. They just we'll get into it when we talk about them. But the exception to that, so just like that image of like, okay, most bull centaurs like they don't even really understand like Hashut religion, because they just
because no one's gonna,
no,
cause like you said, no one's gonna think, oh, I could teach you, like as if I could teach you anything. No one's going to like read them the texts or teach them the beliefs, right? Because it's like probably an assumption that they already know internally.
Yes, absolutely. You wouldn't give
I'm not going to tell you what you already know.
You wouldn't invite an angel to Sunday school, right? Like
No, I totally would though.
But to learn from them. But not to tell them about the nature. Like, you wouldn't sit them down in the pew and be like, let me tell you about the Trinity.
Right, okay. Like I love that the angel, like, audit the Sunday school class.
Yeah, absolutely. But you couldn't do that with the bull centaur because they might kill everybody.
That's true. So would the angel,
that's true.
Honestly.
Yeah.
You got it. And not even on purpose, I think.
Be not afraid.
Be not afraid. The kids, these first graders, most of them are afraid. And the one that isn't, you got to watch out for.
Yeah. But there are exceptions amongst bull centaurs. Like, some bull centaurs, because they are still people, for every rule there is an exception. Some bull centaurs get really into it. They're like, yeah, I'm a holy emissary of Hashut. Tell me some of these like scriptures. Let me read some of those plates. Teach me to read, a thing that most bull centaurs can't do.
Yeah, because no one's going to try.
Exactly. And those that get really into it come to be known as sentinels, and they aren't marching out to war. They are temple guardians. They are in the catacombs. They are in like the deep places of the ziggurats and stuff, and they are a terrifying force, because for all the innate kind of animalistic fear that a normal bull centaur can cause by just being like a big thing bearing down on you, the image of a bull centaur sentinel with their like bull shaped helmet filled with like incenses and stuff to keep their mind clear so that they don't just like want to inflict pain like wantonly. They're like focused.
Yeah, that's scarier.
Swinging their like big double-bladed like sword at you while quoting Hashutite scripture.
God, no,
yeah, right.
That's worse.
Right? It's a lot. It's very good. It's very good. But that's bull centaurs. That's our like army composition stuff. I want to talk about the.
Hey, are bull centaurs always dudes?
I don't think so. But it's a miniatures thing where...
I mean, the miniatures all just look...
Yeah, exactly. Like,
I'm just curious, like...
Yeah.
Because bull.
Yeah. That's an interesting question. They might actually be. Because, yeah, bull centaur. I hadn't thought about it that way.
But it's only like... But it's just because they're like... The cloven hoof thing, right? Like the child is born with this very specific kind of mutation.
Yes.
and then the bull is the symbol of Hashut.
Yes.
And then the centaur thing comes from being like part dwarf, part bull. But that's just because it's a symbol of Hashut.
Yeah.
It could also be cow centaur or chicken centaur
Yeah.
if it happened to be another creature entirely.
Right.
But it's because bull is gendered that has me wondering if it is.
I would bet not. Mostly because of...
I imagine if it was, it would have been said in the book.
Yeah. As I say, and especially because within Helsmith, and this isn't always a thing that happens, because like all the miniatures are male or at least like male presenting. But of the other
If you're
like...
going to get like jacked as fuck and go to war, then everyone's looking pretty masked.
Yes. But of like the Helsmith miniature range more broadly, we do have like female models. Yeah. Like, so we have, like, we know that the Helsmiths aren't practicing like a gender essentialism.
Because I was also kind of wondering that with like all the vibes, were we gonna? But I know I appreciate that. Like, I like that they suck for a lot of reasons, but like this isn't one of them, and that's not a redeeming quality about this society. It's just like kind of underlines the everybody has a baseline of what you have to like owe and pay to the world, but no one is starting out with a bigger debt than anyone else just because of, I mean, if you're a baby with the wrong mutation, you kind of are. But like no one being,
we have our own like fucked up morality. We don't need to add more to that. We just want everyone to be meat to the grinder. So I mostly handed you that page because it's got the cohort on the top, and you in the cohort, like, they don't look that different because AGW is bad at faces and they're like jacked dwarfs. But Warhammer lady dwarves don't have beards.
I hate that.
Yeah, I like the Discworld version where they have beards. But you can tell that that like unit of like foot infantry is a mix of, and the leader of the unit in fact is female because she doesn't have her beard.
But okay, I mean, I hate that in the fact that like dwarves and beards are so integral, and I like it, like the Discworld thing where like all dwarves have beards, and that is just like a part of dwarven culture. But like in the context of the minis, right? And it would be, how would you communicate like gender? And so like, especially with like figures like this, the alternative would be boobs. Which boobs are great, don't get me wrong. But like having to do really pronounced breasts in armor always, I was gonna say, you just
get boob plate and nobody likes that because it looks stupid.
So this choice of dwarves, lady dwarves don't have beards, and that is the like secondary sex indicator that you can use to communicate there are different kinds of people in this army. And that's pretty rad. Okay.
Let's talk about the Ziggurats.
The
Ziggurats. Also sorry, because I was thinking about the like indicating on a miniature thing and
not
like no beards. That's why elves have huge stupid hats in Warhammer, because that originated as a concession for modeling, because you're not going to get the fine detail to show a pointed ear on like a miniature, especially when they were first being developed. So elves all wear technology. Elves all wear pointy hats, so you know they're elves at a glance.
Fair. Fair, whatever.
That's why Teclis has his big stupid hat, and Tyrion has his big stupid hat, and it's the whole thing.
That's very funny. Wait, is Marathi wearing a big stupid hat?
Yeah, she's got her big snake crown hat. So it's different because she's a dark elf, but
Okay. That's so funny. Incredible. You know what? That's a respectable workaround.
Yeah, right? It's pretty good. So great Ziggurat.
Like they could now, though.
It's true. Then they do. We have like hatted elves now because they can get the fine detail. And also like stuff about like body shape and stuff they're a little bit more confident in with their, and they can do with. But let's talk about great Ziggurats. So the Ziggurat is Hashut's holy artifice. The book says that each is built with such inhuman precision that it scars the eyes to look upon. Like the angles are so perfect that it physically hurts to look at it.
That's very good.
Right.
That's a very good descriptor.
Malignant geography. Malignant geometry, rather.
Yeah. Ooh.
Right.
Stuff obviously irks me. It's supposed to.
Yes.
But I'm just thinking about it. I'm like, ooh, I'm uncomfortable.
Right. Terrifying. So the biggest and the most well-known of the great Ziggurats is the Forge Anathema.
Good name.
Right?
I think I said that last time because that sounds very familiar.
Yes, we mentioned the Forge Anathema last time. It is set into...
Is that the one that's like right next door to where all the Skaven live now?
Yeah, yep.
That's right. I was like, wait, hold on.
It is set into the Adamantine Chain, that huge mountain range on Akshi, and it is now it is basically the biggest fortress separating the rest of the Great Parch from Blight City.
Mm-hmm.
The Forged Anathema is technically several ziggurats because they were all built into and around and then like down into the caldera of a massive like super volcano.
Caldera is a great word.
Caldera is a great word. That volcano was called the Mons Varga.
Okay.
It used to be an active super volcano, and the Helsmiths have like destroyed it. Like they've pulled out all the lava to power their forges and furnaces. They've blocked off all of the vents.
God damn, they destroyed a volcano.
Yes, they turned it into a thing of waste on purpose as a slight.
Rude.
Because the oldest legend about Mons Varga is that it was once a volcano that burned so hot that Grimnir went into it and took a cinder of it to take to Grungni to power his first forge. And so the Helsmiths destroyed it on purpose.
Petty. These petty bitches.
Yes. Yes. So Forged Anathema is not the first ziggurat, but it is the largest and most successful of the great ziggurats. Mm-hmm. Its influence stretches far beyond Akshi. It has, like, it is the most bought into the, like, modernization of, like, the Helsmith thing.
Okay.
Right? Like, it's not DC, it's New York. It's the, like, power complex behind the whole, where, like, it's not technically in charge, but it's the thing that's doing all the stuff that we associate the thing with, right?
Okay, yeah.
So the actual forge is located on Akshi, but it has a bunch of annex forges that it just, like, it will send a crew of Helsmiths and their constructs out, and they will build, like, a extraction mine basically overnight, and they will strip mine an area barren, and then they will pack all that up and bring it back to the forge. Right?
God.
Like, that is their ball game. And that's what's made them like the huge, they say that thousands of artillery pieces line the walls of the, like, inside of that caldera. So if anyone approaches the forge, they just get obliterated. Like,
yeah, not going over there.
Yep. It's partially about showing off their might. It's partially about being like, we don't have to hide anymore. We're not, like,
they're big on that.
Yes, this is a huge, terrifying thing right in the middle of, like, the biggest, like, chunk of, like, Sigmar reclaimed area, and we're not going anywhere, and we're terrifying and huge and important.
Neat.
Yes. All Helsmiths consider themselves the rightful inheritors of the Khazalid Empire. Mm-hmm. The Forged Anathema considers itself the rightful inheritor, even within Helsmiths, because they're the biggest and they're the most successful at doing what they're doing.
Okay, yeah.
Again, it's the, like I said, it's like kind of the New York thing of, like, we're so monumentally successful. This is the real Khazalid Empire. It's not on Shaman. It's not like, it's new, but we did it, so we win. Like, we're the real one. Yeah,
we're the real one.
Yes. It's the personal seat of Uraktar, who's our one famous face. Oh. We're not going to talk about him yet, but just know that when we talk about him later, he's at the Forged Anathema. Yeah. Zorn. So Forged Anathema is not the original Ziggurat. Zorn is.
Is this the one on Gur?
Yes. Yep. Zorn is located on Gur, and it is the fanatical, like, religious Ziggurat.
That makes sense if it's supposed to be the OG.
Yes, it's the original Ziggurat. It is where the, like, priestly castes are trained.
You just get an archaeologist in there. They
right.
definitely prove the timeline of that story and see, like, what's legit.
You know, they're just bringing their own archaeologist.
No, I know.
Like,
I know
yeah.
Do they do it bad? I'm just saying.
Yes, said to be the original place that Hashut, like, dwelled in the realms. Like I said, the original Ziggurat, the whole thing. And the Urzorni consider themselves the most true sect of Hashut worship because of that.
Of course they do.
They keep their traditions. They have not allowed themselves to get, like, sectorized. They have not allowed themselves to lose the, like, deeper traditions. They're orthodox. They're like, we follow the exact letter of all the religious texts we have, to the point where it is hard for non-Urzorni Hashutites to, like, talk to the Urzorn because they've kept their original, like, language traditions. Like, they haven't let themselves, like,
the language has not evolved.
Yes, exactly.
Ooh,
so
that's
they can,
unnatural.
Yes, and so they can keep the best possible interpretations of the holy texts.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, actually, yeah.
Right. Yes. So the Urzorn, I consider everybody else, like, different distant sects. It's one of those things where like if they had their way, they'd probably try and like frame them as like heretical and like bring them back into the fold, but they just don't have the power, right? This is the thing with the like demon smiths and the priestly caste, where it's like everyone respects Zharrdron. Everybody knows that Zharrdron is like the original temple, and it's like technically the most important like cultural place for Helsmiths. But like whatever, right?
Yeah. Like I bet if they tried, the demon smiths would get annoyed.
Yes,
They'd
exactly.
be like, this is not worth our fucking time.
Exactly.
Why are we wasting our resources on this?
Yes. So the rest of the Helsmiths pay homage. They keep in the good graces of the Zharrdron, but they're not going out of their way to exalt them.
It's kind of more symbolic than anything.
Yeah, it's a little bit what like Europe had with the Catholic Church for a minute, where it's kind of like, well, the king has to be in the Pope's good graces, and he's going to give him all the proper respects and stuff, but he's not going to like let it influence his decision making too much.
Well, clearly, as soon as he said, no, you can't divorce your wife,
right.
We were done.
Found a new church.
They were done.
Exactly. So yeah, it was like I said, they respect in the most broad sense the Zharrdron, but they don't think about them. A lot of Helsmiths, if like they could speak candidly about it, probably consider the Zharrdron just like a relic, right?
Yeah,
like a thing that was, and just like part of their tradition.
The way many of the British consider the monarchy.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, where like the Zharrdron are technically important, but yeah. The Zharrdron make their armor and weapons in the original like Hashut style of the Pact. They are free from any advancements made by their kin, so they don't make any constructs. They don't make any like artillery stuff, but they trade those things with like the Forge Anathema and our other big Ziggurats for instruction. Like if you want to be part of the priestly caste and you're from the Forge Anathema, you have to go train with the Zharrdron to be like formally recognized. And I think the cost of training this one is 2 cannons, right?
Just
like, yeah, exactly. So that's how they keep relevant in like the power game, right? Is that you can't learn to be a priest of Hashut anywhere but Zharrdron, and so they can always like leverage that to stay relevant, right?
Interesting.
Yes. Because they're located on Gur, they tend to have the most work alongside Hobgrats. Also just because they're a full like priestly caste, so they like working with the Hobgrats to just like do the stuff that they don't want to do because they're busy being a priestly caste.
Yeah.
The catacombs where all the bull centaurs are raised are also beneath Zharrdron.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. You had a bull centaur baby, like the Zharrdron are just going to come and collect it and take it to
like
the
the
catacombs. Jedi. Yeah, exactly.
Your kid's a little force sensitive? Right.
Yep.
Yoink.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, their main trade relationships to shore up their lack of advancement. Other Helsmiths will petition to train under them, quote, through gritted teeth in exchange for more advanced war machines. And then, Zharrdron oversees the blessings of the birth of bull centaurs. The book calls bull this is an inside joke, but the book calls bull centaurs blessed or sanctioned mutations, which is so out of character, and it's because it's a joke about 40K. Because the Imperium, one of the sacred doctrines of the Imperium is suffer not the witch, the mutant, the witch, the mutant, the Xenos to live, because they're terrible. Is the point. But there are a bunch of mutants in the Imperium army because they're fascists. Yeah. And fascist core trait is that they're...
That doesn't apply to me.
Huh?
That doesn't apply to me.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Like, you had to follow this rule. I made the rule.
Yes.
And if I'm not following it, I have a really good reason, and don't you question it.
Yes. But yeah, so sanctioned mutation is what the Imperium calls, like, its mutants. So they can get around the, like, no, we hate mutants, but... that guy who's 4 times the size of everybody else and can pummel a brick wall with his bare hands, he's sanctioned because he's useful.
I mean, yeah, it's the exact same thing.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Or like navigators, which are required for warp travel in 40K, are mutants.
Okay.
And totally ripping off Dune, but that's neither here nor there.
Moving on.
Yes. But yeah, that's Zharrdron. They're the fundamentalist sect that just maintains power by being the only game in town when it comes to like official religious stuff, right? All black hammers are made at Zharrdron because, again, that's where the whole priestly caste is trained and all that jazz. Next is my favorite, and they're terrible, but they're so fun that I can't help but get giddy about them. We have Zharvixa.
Okay, it's a lot of consonant sounds.
Right. It is a massive scavenger rig built out of a ziggurat and fastened with all kinds of mechanical like artifice, including like big like arachnoid legs. So
Howl's Moving Castle.
Yes, we built a ziggurat, and
how
then
do we
we
get two
had
Howl's Moving Castle references in this goddamn episode?
Zharvixa is in Shaiish.
Oh.
Yes. And they have, in addition to the normal like demon binding that all Helsmiths practice, Zharvixa have learned the absolutely horrifying art of strip mining afterlives. Yes. They will box it in afterlife. They will take all of the magic out of it and like funnel it into their machines and stuff, and they will just like cut the spirits free. So you just have like wild night hunt forming, or like spirits whose real afterlife got destroyed, and so they just have to like try and find someplace else to live.
How dare they make me think, damn, Nagash has got to get back here.
Right.
I cannot fucking believe that they have the audacity to make me be like, damn, Nagash better get his ass reformed and come take care of this.
So that's because the ziggurat itself was like hidden in Shaiish for a long time. And then once they started doing that, they pulled so much heat to themselves where like vengeful spirits and like gargants and like the forces of Nagash were just like, what the absolute fuck? And so that's why it's like a huge scavenger rig now, is they had to build.
I gotta stay mobile.
Yeah, they had to build giant mechanical crab legs on their building so that they could scurry away from Nagash trying to beat them up. Like it's just constantly like scuttering around Shaiish trying to stay abreast of the god of death so they could keep pinching afterlives and putting them in the furnace. Like,
Jesus Christ.
They're terrifying, they're horrible, and they're so like Looney Tunes like.
Do we have a picture?
Yes. We don't have a picture of Zharvixa, unfortunately.
Okay,
like the actual ziggurat.
Then never mind. What do you mean we don't have an illustration of the ziggurat with crab legs?
Right.
That's who? It's because there's not a mini?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, we have a map of where it's located, but we
That's
don't have a picture
not
of the ziggurat
helpful.
itself, right?
Then it looks like Howl's Moving Castle, but pointier.
Yeah.
Until
ziggurat.
otherwise, proven otherwise, then Zharvixa is just Howl's Moving Castle, but with a fucking big old ziggurat thing on it instead of. I gotta look.
Zharvixa mostly inhabits they're like proof of concept afterlife. The first one they mined out was a place for like drowned sailors.
Oh my god!
Yes, and they stripped it of all its magic, and that's mostly where the ziggurat lives now, is like underneath the ocean. Something about the like water there helps protect it from spirits and stuff. So that's where it will go to. It'll just seal all the hatches and like
just submarine down.
Yes, absolutely. Because it's such a zany like hostile environment and like so disconnected from the rest of the Helsmith structure, more so than any other like Helsmith group, Zharvixa also has a reputation for like relative autonomy, right? Like the larger Helsmith culture, you still have to abide by your oaths, you still have to do all these obligations and stuff, but it's not so much the like strict like, ooh, here's the regiments we do, ooh, here's the like things that we build. It's kind of like, well, as long as your crew's going out and they're coming back with stuff that we want, how you do that, whatever.
Yeah, it feels like things got to be a little bit more loosey-goosey when you're living in fucking the death realm.
Yep. Yes. But yeah, Zharvixa is, again, just them Looney Tunesing around in their giant spider ziggurat. And like, very amalgamate aesthetic is what I have written here, where like, again, you don't have like a nice prim like military company. You have like whatever armor everyone brought from home with like various colors and stuff. And yesterday I invented a gun with 4 barrels because it's what I like scrounged and like built myself because I'm just part of this like crew who goes out and like takes stuff. Like scouts locations or whatever.
Damn.
Yeah. It's a good look. It's kind of like a pirate Freeport almost.
I mean, listen, you're right. It sounds fun as hell.
Yeah, but it's terrifying.
But it's terrifying.
And then our last great Ziggurat.
Hey, is it just like the 4 places where they live, or do like the Helsmiths live?
They live in other places. These are the big famous ones.
Okay, cool,
Yeah.
cool.
This is if you ask someone who wasn't from the U.S. to name 4 U.S. cities.
Okay, I was gonna say
yeah.
it's D.C., New York, L.A.,
Chicago.
Oh, Chicago.
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe Seattle, maybe
Yeah.
Austin, Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But realistically, it's probably New York, L.A., D.C., Texas.
International listeners can confirm.
Yeah,
And this is not us
let
making
know.
fun of you. This is just us
yeah.
acknowledging the U.S. is big.
Yes, the U.S. is big and most of it's nothing.
And empty.
As native Idahoans, most of it's nothing.
Yeah. You just drive for hours and not see a damn thing but trees and fields, depending on which direction you're driving.
Yes. Also, of the 4 great, I should note this, of the 4 great Ziggurats, Zharvix is the only one that's not like real weird about being the like true inheritors of the Khazalid Empire.
Oh.
On some level, they know that they're just like kind of a scavenging rig, right? Like they're big and impressive because they've managed to like do this kind of crazy thing in this hostile environment. But no one's like, oh yeah, Zharvix is the real Khazalid Empire. The like oil rig we half like crazyified strapped legs to hell moving castle around the realm of death. That's the stable focal point for our society.
Yeah. You know what? These dudes are real delusional, but not that delusional.
Yes. There's just better candidates like the Forge Anathema.
Yeah, that just makes more sense.
Again, like Forge Anathema, because like, ooh, we're the biggest and the most successful. And Zorn's like, we're the original temple. And we're the most like strict about the religious rules. So we're the true inheritors of the like Khazalid Empire.
So who's number 4?
Yeah.
What's behind door number 4?
Musfulzar. A little bit of Norse there.
Yeah.
Like Muspelheim, but so we just have fire here because Zar means fire in Khazalid.
It's great.
Muspelzar is set into the Muspelzar Mountains on Shaman. The defining feature of the Muspelzar Mountains is there are so many just like tiny realm gates to Akshi that dot this mountain range. And when I mean tiny, I mean like maybe you can stick your hand through.
What the
Like
fuck?
not even like navigable realm gates, just like pinholes in the fabric of reality here. That
I don't think I know
lead
I understand what a realm gate is. I thought they were things that were made.
No, and realm gates are naturally occurring.
Okay, I
Yes.
think you definitely told me that, and then every time they've been brought up, I've just like forgotten that detail and misunderstood how they come about. Okay.
They're naturally occurring tessers. They're just a thing that exists between 2 spaces that makes them 1 space.
Okay.
Also, someone's going to comment at me.
wormholes.
There's like conflicting opinions because some people say like, oh, the Great Old Ones created the realm gates, but that's stupid because it would mean the Great Old Ones were still around during all of the old world and or came to the mortal realms before the mortal realms existed. And they're naturally occurring. That's our best evidence. Anyways.
This whole place is wacky magic bullshit.
Yeah,
Why not?
Exactly. Yeah, they're just
Hot springs are naturally occurring, and that's fucking crazy.
yeah, they're just
Not hot springs. 'Cause that seems fine. Geysers.
Yeah.
Geysers is what I wanted to say.
Yeah, so the realm gates are just holes in reality that lead between 2 places.
Okay.
And you can build stuff around them to like make them more stable or whatnot,
Okay.
but they are just naturally occurring. And so yeah, Muspelzar Mountains have just like tons and tons and tons of realm gates to Akshi.
Okay.
It just means that like the magic there gets weird because like Akshi and magic is coming through those realm gates, not enough to like overwhelm it, but enough to make it like to mix with the shamanic magic there and make it like whack basically.
Okay, that's fun.
Yeah, right. Intermingling of realm gate forces causes the whole place to be this just kind of like weird mug of acrid like metal smoke where like you get fire, which is like that fire magic is like passion and it's like desire and like chasing after a thing. And shamanic magic is inherently like ephemeral. It's mercurial. And so you just have this like constantly changing and that manifests as this kind of like muggy, like
Okay.
kind of acrid smoke thing. Whereas like normally actually in shamanic forces work very well together. That's the foundation of like mercurial and passion is like art.
Yeah.
Right? Like, but just the weird constant like inpouring leaves it directionless basically.
Okay.
Muspelzar was also because it was at one point a huge source of shamanite, which is the realm stone of shaman.
Yeah.
There was at one point a ton of Khazalid like empire cities built here that just like warded themselves against like the negative effects of the area and built themselves up as these like very huge important like trade posts and like industrial centers and like crafts centers and stuff. And so the people who live in the Helsmiths who live in Mosulzar now see themselves as the true inheritors of the Khazalid Empire because they're still fucking living there.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, gang.
That's their claim, is we are literally still on the door. It's Rome.
I was looking for a comparative. Rome is perfect.
Yes, we currently live in Rome, therefore we're the Romans, right? Like that's that's the metric. And so the Helsmiths do not have those like large scale like kind of masterwork stuff to protect them from the atmosphere of Mosulzar. Also, that's against their like moral philosophy.
Yeah, because defense.
Yes. So instead, each individual like Helsmith who lives in Mosulzar will find their own ways to protect themselves from the like smoky, acrid, like terribleness of living in Mosulzar. So that's charms, that's incantations, that's protections, that's whatever, just to like balm themselves personally against the atmosphere. We get an expression of their like moral philosophy there, where like it would probably be less effort overall to just build like a dome over the city to protect everyone, but they would never do that.
No, you have to make your own sunscreen from scratch.
Yes, exactly. They're obsessed with raiding old abandoned Khazalid settlements, both for materials, because it's harsh living here.
Yeah.
But also for legitimacy, right? Like they will raid an old abandoned Khazalid city and find all the property deeds and bring them back to Mosulzar and just like enshrine them and be like, see, we're the real ones. Like
fascinating.
I have the document.
Okay.
They also have no concerns about unsealing like old, lost, and forbidden wells of knowledge. Like they'll find like ancient like Khazalid, like, oh, we sealed this away because it's too dangerous tech, and they'll be like, neat, and pop the top off of it and integrate it into their own stuff because they don't care. Yeah.
Of course.
They're also obsessed with image. Again, they're maybe the most like, because their claim to being the true Khazalid is just that they live there, but they held like almost no power in the big like political game of like everything. And so they're obsessed with presenting that image. Like, no, we're the real important ones, guys. You have to believe us. Like we can't.
Yeah.
And so the material they can scavenge and stuff is rarely in decent condition. Like stuff manufactured in Mosulzar is never going to be great because they're scavenging secondhand resources, but they put extra effort into making it look nice so that they can live up, again, that appearance of they're gilding all their stuff so that they can live up to that appearance of like we're the true like Khazalid Empire, down to them wearing the like traditional colors of the Khazalid Empire, a thing that the other Helsmiths don't do. They just have their own like colors on their uniforms and stuff.
Yeah, interesting. Okay.
Right. Bad news, Mosulzar still sucks despite
of course
all
it
that.
does. Nothing you've said has made me think it doesn't suck.
So many of the people who live there get sent there as punishment.
Oh no!
Yes. Some of them embrace that, where they're just like, some people are like natively born in Mosulzar and just like it's their home. But a lot of people get sent there because like you fucked up your choices. We're going to kill you, or we're exiling you to Mosulzar so you can like go scavenge materials there or whatever.
Okay.
And some people pick that. And then we get another layer to the like oaths thing, where people who aren't prepared for Mosulzar will get to Mosulzar, and then they'll be like, oh my god, I can't handle all this, and then they will swear oaths to priests or demon smiths or whoever to provide them that protection they need, that then indebts them to that person, and we have this whole terrible system building off of it. Crafting wise, if the Forge Anathema is like the mass produced incredible high quality product, Mosulzar is the like crazy, like, because they're unsealing all those like ancient lost like things that people weren't supposed to mess with, and they're working with subpar materials, and so they have to get like real weird with like the things that they make. And so we don't have like a ton of instances of that, just the note that like you can always tell most Fulzarian work because extra effort has gone into making it look nice, and it probably works really weird. It doesn't follow normal kind of Helsmith like manufacturing procedure. They had to scrimp and like do weird modifications, which themselves often lead to like new understandings and discoveries that then get adopted by other Helsmiths, right? As on the level of like, we don't have the material for like this level of like structural integrity. Ooh, if we just like shift this around, it'll be more structural and we can use less material. And then someone picks up on that as like, oh, that's normal manufacturing procedure now at the Forge Anath. Right. Kind of desperation informing creation type thing. But those are our great ziggurats, which leaves us just enough time to finish out this episode talking about our one famous face.
Just the one!
Just the one, Uraktar.
And he lives at the...
Forge Anathema.
That's right.
Yes, because it's the biggest and the most impressive, and he wants to be the biggest and the most impressive.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. Uraktar, the first demon smith.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
Like, legitimately?
We don't know.
Or is he just like,
That's his title, yep. But we don't know if it's true.
All right, yeah, that tracks for everything else these fools are doing.
This is one of my favorite like note sequences I've gotten to write. He is the self-proclaimed oldest living mortal in AOS, probably. Okay. Because we have like a mountain of potential caveats to that.
Yeah, okay.
So the first caveats, we have to exclude anyone who is being artificially kept alive by a god.
That's fair.
So Gotrek, the Slayer from the old world, who's so bad at like dying in honorable combat they survived the end of the world.
Yeah.
He's still alive. He's like probably the reincarnation of Grimnir, or like somehow related to Grimnir, but he's a mortal from the old world, right? Like he's not literally immortal, so we have to take him out if we're counting like Uraktar. Also counts for like Thankful, right? Our crazy rat boy with his big rat friend that he keeps having remade.
Yeah.
Thankful's from the old world, but he's kept alive by the will of the great horned rat who thinks he's so funny.
That's right. Yeah.
We also have to exclude him. So it's like, okay, so not from the old world. Like AOS native character is the oldest in the mortal realms. Confirmed not to be the same person because we have another Skaven who is implied to be someone from the old world, but we don't know for sure.
Okay.
But the metric for that is in the old world, his name was Ikit Claw. And in the new world, there's a Skaven character named Ikrit Claw.
Don't do that.
So we don't know
What, you
for
couldn't
sure.
copyright Ikit?
Yeah. Yeah, we don't know for sure. But Ikrit is still around, and if he is Ikit, then he would be like the oldest, but he's also from the old world.
So it doesn't count.
And he's also probably immortal now. The last we saw of him, it seems like he's somehow managed to reverse engineer like how Stormcast work.
Oh shit!
And did it to himself with like madcap Skaven science because someone kills him and he like explodes in a burst of green lightning.
I kind of love that for him though.
If he is Ikit is one of the best characters in all of like Warhammer. Ikit in the old world, which was like a fantasy world, invented nuclear weapons. He's crazy, like, and I love him terribly. So yeah, we gotta count out Ikit for that to make sense. Not recently immortal. So like all of our ascendant gods, Marathi, Teclis, Tyrion, right? Because they are immortal, but they only barely became immortal.
And they're also all from the old world.
Yes. We have to count out Stormcast because
they don't count.
Same reason. Yep. Or characters we just don't know the age of. Because like Trug, who we talked about in the Gits episode, that like ancient Troggoth who we know has been around since at least the Age of Myth. Uraktar's claim is also that he's been around since the Age of Myth. So it's like,
well, does he have runes to prove it?
Yeah, right. So that's
one of you's got runes to prove it.
So basically, like what I have in my notes is it's a nice tagline, but it's got so many asterisks that it's like, I'm the oldest living mortal in the realms, except for this caveat, this caveat, this caveat, this caveat, which is either like okay, that's a flashy tagline that no one thought through before they printed it, or it's the point.
I was feeling like it's the point that matches so well to everything else.
Yes, King Liar of the Liars, is kind of like absolutely allied. That insane and audacious would be a thing that everyone would just swallow uncritically in Helsmith society.
Because here's the thing with the Helsmith that is like. Not the thing. There's so many things. Here's the thing. It's Ben Grimm. Is that we've talked a lot about the other structures and factions and species and cultures and stuff like that. And they have some cool things, and then they have some not so cool things. Yeah. And like the Ideneth have they're scary fish elves that have a not so cool thing about their society structured. But like, there is a reason why they do that. It's not a good reason, but it doesn't come from nowhere, right? Whereas with the Helsmiths, it's like all of your bad things are nothing.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't, there's not like our souls are broken.
Right.
And we kind of have to be this way. Like you don't.
Yeah. It's all, they did it to themselves, like wholly and fully. It's literally their inability to, because every person who is a Helsmith could have gone and been a Zharrdron. Yeah. Or could have gone and been a Fire Slayer. Yeah. Or could have gone and been dispossessed. But instead they chose to be fascists. Yeah. Right? Like
there is no higher, weird, ethereal, magic bullshit curse reason why you are like this. Yes. You have chosen to be like this. Yes. And it's the worst way to be out of everyone you've introduced me to. Yes. And I'm including Nagash, who sucks, and everyone who works for him. But like, there's like other magic ethereal bullshit going on there. Yes. These dudes don't have to be this way, and they choose to, even though everything around them is bad and a direct result of their own actions. It's not like they were dropped in a bad situation and just had to make the best of it. Right. And I'm saying this even as someone who believes they're being tricked by a demon.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Because, again, even if they're being tricked by a demon...
The signs are all there. Get the fuck out.
I was going to say, even if they're being tricked by a demon, they're buying that willingly. Yeah. Hashut's not forcing them to do any of this.
They're not magically compelled. Like, they're all about oaths, but he doesn't have an oath on them. Yeah. They could just leave tomorrow. I mean, I'm sure he'd be pissed about it. Yeah. But, like, they could.
They'd still be, like, chaos mutated, but that's fine. Like, people exist with chaos mutation in the realms all the time. Yeah. Like...
You just stop actively making it worse or contributing to the next generations also suffering as you suffer.
Yes. Helsmiths are interesting because of all the factions we've talked about. They're the most, like, they are this way because they chose to be like this. Yeah. Right? It's not anything, like you said, it's not anything pressed upon them. It's not anything that they're compelled to do.
They're like made this way.
No, they're just bad because they're convinced they're good. Right?
That's the worst.
That's what it boils down to. And it makes them Gaston. Right? Or Father, what's his name? From Notre Dame. Not Father.
Judge Frollo.
Frollo, yeah. Where they are a kind of startlingly real evil in a setting with a lot of like fictional evils. Yeah. Right? Because, they're just fueled by hate. They're just fueled by spite.
Yeah, and I made a comment about, like, strengthened by spite. Yeah. But, like, I mean, like, I'm so mad at this way this person treated me. I'm going to excel in everything I do, so they are forced to acknowledge that I'm better off without them. Yes. Right? But not like I want to go out and cause them harm or, like, make their life worse. Yeah. I just want to be so great I annoy them. Yes, like, that's I'm fueled by spite. Like,
you're not out here plotting to make a black hammer, right? No! Like, that's the bit, yeah.
Yeah, it's so... And again, like I said, like, they are just choosing and buying into this, even though every single sign around them, every physical manifestation of their choices is screaming at them that you made the wrong choice.
Yes, but they have convinced themselves they haven't. Mm-hmm. And that eventually, like, it's that, like, we're referencing so many different pieces of media today. Mm-hmm. It's like in Arcane. Yeah. You know how Silco just straight up makes the lanes worse and like floods it with drugs and like crime is rampant everywhere, and it's because he has justified to himself in his mind that it will all be worth it if he wins.
Ends justify the means.
Yes, exactly. That's kind of what it is to the Helsmiths on a level, but even that they've deluded themselves past the point of that, where they can't even admit that what they're doing is bad.
Yeah, like Silco wouldn't claim that flooding the lanes with drugs is good. No, it's an unfortunate side effect of what he has to do. Yes, and he regrets that fact, but it is something he must do. Yeah. Whereas the Helsmiths will just say, well, that's the price you pay. Yep. And like that is so much reflective of like real world American, like major cultures, like world powers. Like, hey, shrimp mining the planet is bad. Right. Hey, relying on fossil fuels when we don't have to anymore is bad. Yes. Like, committing to these things, even though we have the technology and the information to start making shifts away from it, is bad, but someone's making a dime,
Yes.
and so they have justified
Yes.
this is the way it has to be. Price of modernization, price of convenience. And it's like, but we don't have to pay this price.
Yes. But because they're not the one paying it, they don't care.
Yeah.
Ugh. But yeah.
But at least,
Helsmith,
here's the
yeah.
thing. At least for the Helsmiths, they are the one paying it.
It's
Like,
true.
not to say that their
That's
actions
fair.
aren't hurting other people around
Yeah.
them, but they are, like, it is almost like, we talked about the karmic thing earlier, but it's
Yeah.
almost like the true justification where it's like, if the world was inherently balanced, then the folks who do
Right.
make the calls to strip mine the earth and,
Yeah.
like, shut down any possibility of shifting away from fossil fuels, like,
Mm-hmm.
they would be the ones suffering the chaos mutations.
Yes.
But it's not. It would, in this, like, the actual one-to-one would be like, no, it's the other dwarves who are
Yes.
suffering. It's the not hobgoblins, hobgrots.
yeah. Grot.
Grots. Hobgrots. That would be the ones suffering. And the Helsmiths. I keep going to say Helldiver. The Helsmiths would be untouched by this.
Yeah.
So I do find it fascinating that was an intentional choice to, like,
Yeah.
have
Yes.
it be like a perpetuating cycle that, again, they're out here kidnapping and murdering priests from
Right.
other cultures. Like, it's not like I'm claiming
No,
that
yeah.
they're only hurting themselves. They're very clearly not.
Yeah.
But
It's how you know it's fiction.
Oh.
The people doing the bad get punished. Anyways. Let's finish out talking about Erectar.
Oh, right, we're not done
No,
with
no,
him.
no. That's all good. No, like that's exactly like that. I really like talking about the Helsmiths because there's so much here. They're like
Yeah.
they did such a good job, especially for such a new faction, in just communicating so much
like ideas.
like good ideas about who they are and what's wrong and like why they're like this and all the ways in which that makes them evil. Like they did it to themselves, but dow, and that's what really hurts. But yes, let's talk about King Liar of the Liars, Erectar, the quote-unquote first Stephen Smith. So regardless of if he's actually the oldest mortal in the setting, he is verifiably extremely ancient.
Okay.
So he has been around a long time. Is he the oldest? Who cares, right? Like that's
guess it
kind
doesn't
of
really matter.
Yeah, right.
It probably matters
does-
to him.
I was
but-
gonna say it probably doesn't matter to him, right? Because
Oh,
that's
interesting.
the bit where he tells everybody he's the oldest, and who cares what's true? What is beneficial to be true? What benefits me if it were true? And that's what I will say. So there's some records to indicate that he worked alongside Hashut in the Age of Myth. In last episode, we were telling the tale of Hashut about how he like broke into the realm of chaos and found
Yeah.
the Forge of Souls and stuff. I said he did that single-handedly, like asterisk, because some like slates implied that Erectar was there with him, that he helped him with that initial raid. And again, we have no idea of knowing if that's like a later addition or true or whatever, but it would benefit Erectar if it was true.
Yeah.
So I think it's fake, right?
Yeah.
Erectar, again, the title of First Demon Smith. We don't know if it's true, but that's what Erectar claims, is that he learned it directly from Hashut, and that's why he gets to be big and powerful and important. He originates from Urzorn. So he is a demon smith, but he is trained in like the original Urzorni like religious tradition as well. Mostly because he's been around a long time, and also, again, I think he's probably taken strides to rewrite parts of their like religious doctrine he doesn't like.
Oh,
if
yeah.
he's been around for a long time, right?
I'm
Again,
sure.
King Liar of the Liars, right? But yeah, seized power and anathema is like the ruler of the Forge Anathema. And just to give you an insight into his psyche, he used to keep his like acolytes, the people who were learning demon smithing from him, one of their ongoing duties was just keeping a running list of all of the like harm he and his creations had caused
Oh.
as like a flex.
Yeah.
And he had to stop doing that because the extra labor it created was untenable.
Oh.
Yes.
Yikes.
Right. Like people who would have had to stop learning demon smithing just to like keep the
doing
list.
this.
Yeah.
Damn.
Right. So he's bad. He's extra bad.
No, very bad.
Very entirely self-interested, right?
Yeah.
And we see that most explicitly in like the supernatural element. This is why I love fantasy. You can use a supernatural element to make a philosophical point. Uruktar is afflicted by the stone curse, same as every demon smith.
Yeah.
And he has innumerable like means and methods for warding it off, right? Like secrets he traded with Archaon for, stuff that he raided from ancient like temples secrets that like he doesn't share with any other like demon smiths,
Mm-hmm.
all these different things, all of which are like slowly losing potency. So he knows that his like clock is running out, but that is why he's potentially been around for eons and has not been claimed by the stone curse, because he is just hyperdosing it with every single like way he can find to like stave it off. His favorite way for staving it off is a spell that he created. It's his own bespoke curse that transfers the stone curse to a target. Yes. It transfers a portion of his stone curse. So it doesn't give it to them permanently. It's not just like, oh, you're getting it now and you're going to keep like developing it. It's literally just like I'm siphoning off the curse from myself and putting it into you. And early on, he could do that and like just do the thing where like, oh, he takes on an acolyte and he transfers his whole stone curse to them and pushes them off a cliff somewhere. And that would just like keep it and he wouldn't develop the stone curse at all. But he's gotten to the point where it's so advanced where he will like cast that spell on like an opponent, like a human like warrior who's rushing him or whatever, and they will die instantly and turn to dust. It will not have taken like any of his curse away because he just has so much built up in himself. Yeah.
This is what happens if you don't floss. That tartar's going to build up, the plaque's going to build up, it's going to turn to tartar between your teeth.
I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. We also get the completely unhinged like note that even though the transfer spell barely helps him anymore, he still does it because he likes doing it. Like
that makes sense. He's terrible.
Yeah, it brings him joy for other people to experience like what he's experiencing.
Of course,
is the bit, and he's self-interested and he sucks. But again, it's that self-interest and it's that like my benefit at the expense of everybody else thing is the mindset you need to develop a spell that gives your curse to somebody else, right? Like there's like nothing about this, but his staff has a name. It's called Dumakaz.
Cool name.
Yeah. It was supposedly forged by Hashut, but again, who knows if that's true?
Hashut wouldn't give you a present.
Exactly, right. One of my favorite parts about him, his Taurus is named. That is Gorokos.
Gorokos is pretty solid.
Right. So most stone Tauruses are hollow shells. Like they're animated by demons, but those demons are like basically on stasis until a demon smith like stands atop the Taurus and like animates it with their magic.
Okay.
Right. You don't want it just doing its own thing.
You don't want it roaming around.
Yeah, exactly.
Except
because, and this is word of God, and it's conclusion to the thing that we talked about last episode, because Gorokos was partially made with the wild spirits of Gur.
There it is. He's a fucking liar. Yeah. This is a chaos demon.
Yeah. Gorkos was partially made with the wild spirits of Gur, which does lend credence to like, okay, Uruktar's been around forever because that was the thing that Hashut was accused of. Yep, way back. It is known to move of its own accord in like
it's so spooky.
In mostly like Halloween monster ways, right? Like it's not roaming the halls.
You never like see it move, but it's in a different place than when the last time you saw it.
Nope. Or like Uruktar keeps it in his personal chambers because he doesn't want anyone messing with it.
Yeah.
So you will go for a meeting with Uruktar, and as you are crossing the room, the huge bull statue in the side of the room is very subtly moving its head to like track you as you walk across the room.
I hate that.
Yeah. It's animate just enough to be unsettling, which I think is great. It's got good sense of drama.
Yeah, very good detail.
So normally, if something like this happened in a stone Taurus, it would be a design flaw. You didn't bind the demon correctly. We're gonna scrap it, like melt it down, like take all the demon souls, put them in something else,
push you off the top of a cliff.
Exactly, because you fucked up. Absolutely. So normally design flaw scrapped, but whatever spirit animates him whispers things to Uruktar, and
you don't say.
The things that he has been whispered have like saved him or like benefited him enough times that he doesn't trust them, but he sees the value in keeping them around.
My God. Okay.
And also, it's not clear if that's true or if Uruktar is just slowly losing it. Right? If he's doing a green goblin mask with his stone Taurus.
Yeah.
Because it does verifiably move, but no one else hears its whisper.
Yeah. Yeah. That's crazy.
It's very good. I like it a lot. I like Uruk-tar and his crazy, giant, terrifying bull with a flair for the dramatic.
Right, because it doesn't have to slowly follow you.
No.
It's just fucking doing that to be weird.
Yes.
Just trying to make you uncomfortable.
Yes.
Because it doesn't want to be there.
Yes. Also that.
Because it's not even at the Ziggurat that's on Gur.
No. Yeah, it's the Forge Anathema. Last thing we have at Uruk-tar, and the thing we're going to close the episode on. So he's had the stone curse for potentially eons, way past the point it should have killed him. All of his methods are slowly starting to lose potency, so it's becoming more and more impactful for him as time goes on. What is a stone sorcerer to do? Uruk-tar's ultimate goal is to ascend to godhood. Yeah. Which is such a, like, because we have like people who have ascended to godhood, but it's also it's just not like an unthinkable thing, but it's such a like Helsmith answer.
It is. Okay, hold on. So who besides Marathi has ascended to godhood in the mortal realms?
In the mortal realms, it's just Marathi.
Okay, because everyone else who wasn't a god before just kind of showed up and they were a god.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. So I think it has I didn't write it down, but I think it has a bit about Uruk-tar hearing about Marathi's ascension. And that's what is the proof of concept that gets him to like pursue it as a plan, basically.
But he'd never admit that.
No. And like I said, it's an interesting thing because his sole motivation for it is preventing the stone curse. It is saving himself. Whereas like Marathi did it for like partially selfish reasons. She wanted to be a god amongst her other elven kids.
It was rude that she is the only one who showed up from... Okay, I guess not the only one. There are like a handful of others, and the ones specifically that like seem to be godhood now were also like bound to like the winds. Okay, I understand why. It's still bullshit. and she was right.
Yeah. And notably, after Marathi ascended to godhood, she kept doing the thing that she was doing, right? She was already like leading the daughters of Cain. She was already like keeping them in the worship of like Cain and leading her temples and like acting throughout the realms. And when she achieved godhood, she just kept doing that, but as a god. Yeah. Right? It's selfish on the level of like, this is a thing I want for myself because I feel like I deserve it.
But she didn't stop working.
I was going to say, it's not like wrong. She didn't just do it to save herself and then fuck off. Yeah. And like Uruk-tar, there's no consideration for what he would do as a god except that it would save him. And that's the difference, but it's also like indicative of the Helsmith mindset. Right?
Yeah. Or Marathi wanted to do it because she's like, one, I fucking deserve it. And she was right. Two, she had more power. She could keep doing the thing that she's doing, but better.
Yes. Ascension for Uruk-tar is just another tool. It's just another thing that you are stripping of its like sacredness to use.
Just to save him from the curse.
Yes.
There's already a god in this club, buddy, and I don't think he'd be so cool. I don't think he's thought that
through. Yeah. Or maybe he has, and that'll be like an upcoming conflict because he's taught in like the Hashutite texts and like the Zharrdron ways and stuff, but he is a demon smith and he talks about himself as a demon smith. And maybe that's the like inevitable conflict we'll see spearheaded with the Helsmiths as we start to get more lore from them, is Uruk-tar starting to position himself as like, Hashut is the old way, and I'm going to be your like new way, like the Zharrdron of a past thing.
Or dude becomes a god, realizes that guy's not a god, that's a fucking demon, and guess what I'm really good at.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be wild, but
I listen. It'd be pretty fucking cool though, right?
Yes, correct. Especially because then you also get a chance to tell a story of like, it was like hypothetically that happens and he like binds his shit and now they're like, oh, that chaos influence is out of the like Helsmith culture, and then they just keep being evil. Yeah. Because that's what they've...
Because it's not because of the chaos influence that they're like this. Yes. That's the other thing, is that like they would be doing this even if the binding of the demons didn't leach chaos into them. Like, because I don't think that's... Because we talked about earlier, like that's... They don't have an outside influence that is like leaning them towards this. No. Even if it turns out this dude is a chaos demon,
right?
They set themselves up to do this. Like I think they were already wanting to do this. Like no one tricked them into it. It's just hey, this is convenient. I'm going to step right into this. Or maybe he did teach them how to do this thing that he knew was going to fuck them over. But, like, they still believe they're better than all the other dwarves. And they still are justifying all of these horrible things that they're doing. And so I think, yeah, you're right. It would be important to demonstrate that, no, it was never because of the chaos thing corrupting them. This culture is fundamentally fucked. And so, like you said, stripping that chaos thing away and showing that at their core, they're still like this. It's not an outside influence. It just, that happened to all, that was a side effect of their bullshit.
Yes. The purpose of a system is what it does, right? Like, irregardless of any other outside factors, like, the Helsmiths are not evil because they follow Hashut. They're not evil because they are influenced by chaos. They're evil because of the things that they do, and they would just keep doing those things. Yeah. And that's fascinating in a storytelling sense, and also they're terrible, right? Like, that's the,
Yeah, they would get rid of, they probably wouldn't have the bull centaurs anymore. No. So they just get rid of all of them. Like, they wouldn't stop getting rid of the children of mutation.
Or they would take a different approach to them, where they wouldn't be like these honored implements of the god Hashut anymore. They would be like subhuman. Yeah. They would still use them for military purposes, but they wouldn't honor them. They would just keep them in pens, right?
Like, yeah, is they would still, fundamentally be, to, like, really drive home this concept, you'd have to take away the potential magical influence to demonstrate that that's not why they are the way they are.
Yes. I think you could also achieve it with, like, Hashut being entirely fake, or, like, Hashut being dead.
I was never here at all.
Interesting one, yeah.
That was also good. It was like, where's this stone thing coming from? And it's like, it's just chaos. It's a side effect from this bullshit you're doing. This is what happens.
Yeah, because I guess it should mention, because
I hadn't considered that. This dude just I hadn't even considered that as an option. He's just not there.
I was gonna say, because Hashut isn't present. He's, like, not doing stuff in the setting.
Yeah,
they're just acting upon his, because he was, like,
and everyone else
banished
or
whatever.
Met all the exactly. Gods.
He was, like, banished or sealed or whatever by what Valea did.
Valea.
Right?
I've been trying to remember her name all episode. Valea.
Yes. So like, they would we have textual evidence that they would just keep doing what they're doing, even if they weren't influenced by Hashut, because they're basically not, right?
Yeah, he's not showing up, and they're just attributing any horrible thing as the will of Hashut.
Yes. Again, like, chaos mutations happen all the time, but this one is a gift from Hashut, right? Like, long story short, I'm very excited to learn more about, like, Helsmiths as we get more lore about them. I want to see what they can do with this very potent, like, thematic, like, idea that they've planted with us.
How is new lore delivered? Like, I guess at what frequency, through what channels? Like, how much information does the community expect to be getting?
Right. We get new lore every battle tome, but battle tomes are primarily a rules reference. So that's usually, like, every 3 to 4 years. Okay. With, like, edition change. And it varies how much new lore you get. There's usually some new stuff, but sometimes just rehashing, because you never know when someone's going to get into the hobby. We get proper novels.
Novels.
Chaos is rarely the focus characters of novels, but Helsmiths are, like, structured and kind of out there enough that I could see us getting, like, a Helsmith perspective novel.
I was going to ask, like, do we know if we have one that's, like, set to come out as part of this? I'm a little surprised.
I don't think so, which like is wild, because I feel like we should. Yeah,
like, not right now, but, like, in 6 months.
Yeah, part of it's probably just because, unfortunately, most of the publishing is eaten up by 40K. Within Warhammer's publishing budget. Don't worry, we have 12 more books about the fucking Horus Heresy coming out or whatever. Like, it's literally like a 24-part anthology. It's crazy.
That's
right?
A lot.
Right.
And I'm on the quest to buy 41 books of the same series. Yeah. So, like, me saying, it's not a lot of them tried to buy 41. Oh, whatever. People like it. Like, okay,
but that's varied themes and all that. The Horus
That's
Heresy...
true. Every one of those is different.
I was gonna say,
she says, pointing aggressively at her 28 Discworld books on the shelf.
The Horus Heresy is one event. Like...
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Anyways,
27. I only have 27.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm sure we'll get a Helsmith's book eventually, where either they're, like, principal antagonist or it's from their perspective. Like I said, we got Hollow King, which is a Soul Blight novel. It's from the perspective of Kata, who's a Soul Blight. Right.
That's pretty cool.
And we got Bad Loon Rising, which is from the perspective of a goblin and his big troll friend, which is one of my favorite AOS books.
That's fun.
And we do have like chaos perspective stuff. So it's not unthinkable. And like there's a Dark Oath Marauder whose books I quite like, who I'm bad with names. That's why I always write them down. Gunnar Brand.
Good name.
Yeah, right. The best AOS book. Sorry, I can't believe I forgot literally the best AOS book ever written. God Eater's Son, which is a Fall to Chaos story. It's villain protagonist. Like,
yeah,
where you just watch this guy go from entirely reasonable, like, crash out to like full on chaos champion over the course of this book. Yeah,
brutal.
But yeah, we'll get Hellsmith something eventually.
Cool.
So yeah, novels, battle tomes. We get short stories and stuff occasionally, which is cool. When the edition ends, we always get like a huge swath of fiction about like when an edition ends and when an edition begins. We always get huge swaths of fiction. So
okay,
like
that's filling the story space.
Yeah, like the Hour of Ruin, the Vermin Doom, that was all the like, fourth edition is coming out. Here's like a ton of short stories about like the development of what's going on in the realms and stuff. And then Broken Realms was end of second edition. Dawnbringer Crusades was the end of third edition. That was like Siege of Excelsius and Siege of Fort Gardus and all the stuff that led up to the Vermin Doom and whatnot. So,
is there? Not what's the word I want for that? Would you buy a mini for these just to paint them?
Yeah, probably. Not like I have enough, like, me personally, I probably wouldn't, just because I have enough of my painting projects. But I know people who do that all the time.
Yeah, I guess I was wondering if that was like a facet of also
Yes.
like the experiences, like, because you if you bought one, you couldn't just throw him in your army.
No.
He couldn't hang out with your guys.
No.
So there's like a slight incentive to not buy ones that are outside of your specific thing, but when a new thing comes out, like with all, like, it's got a lot of fire and they look kind of cool.
Yes.
Like, is there like, hey, how many people are in this thing just because they like to paint minis, not because they want to play this game?
It's a lot, and there's despite not being able to, like, I couldn't just take like a demon smith and put him in my orcs or whatever.
Yeah.
They do try and incentivize that a little bit because, I mean, one half they're a company, and also because it adds like texture to the narrative and gameplay purposes of this game. So when this book came out, when this like army set came out, there's a smaller version of Age of Sigmar called Spearhead. That is like more quick and like a little bit like simpler rules and stuff as like an introductory format. The launch box for Helsmith is just their Spearhead. So you can just play Spearhead with all the like original models you got in the box. And so if you have like an active Spearhead community, you might not have like a full army of any one faction. You might just have like 4
Lots of littles.
Spearheads. Yeah, exactly. If you play other chaos factions, you can take some Helsmith in your like army. Those are called Regiments of Renown, and they're fixed unit lists for balance reasons mostly. So you can't just take anything that you want. But like the one everyone's talking about right now is just 2 of those like big cannons and a demon smith. That's the like Hellfire Battery something. I can't remember what it's called, but you can take that in any other chaos faction. So you have your like Warriors of Chaos or Disciples of Tzeentch or Blades of Khorne army, and you have all your buff chaos warriors on the front line going and smashing guys, and then you have one dwarf and his artillery friends going shoot that guy, which is fun. Or you can take like a soul infernal engine, I think is the other one. The rules are right here in the back of the book.
Hey, look at the rules.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's one infernal engine and a priest to like bless it, which is funny.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that tracks. That makes sense.
Yeah, and so there is like an incentive if you want a different, like I said, if you play like a Blades of Khorne army and you're very used to painting like skin texture because no one in that army wears shirts and like very bright red demons and stuff, and you want like, oh, I want to paint some like metals and like industrial stuff and like the flames and stuff, then yeah, you can pick up just like 2 or 3 Helsmith minis and put them in your Khorne army.
Cool.
And that's fun.
Nice.
And
Okay.
Khorne will be mad at you because he doesn't think ranged is good.
This is bullshit.
Yeah, but not too mad.
Not mad enough to come and do anything about
Yes.
it. Just maybe a little miffed.
Yes. Similarly, if you play a Chaos Army, this is one of my favorites. If you play a Chaos Army, you can just put Scarbrand, the one demon that Khorne like threw through the realms because he tried to betray him. You can put Scarbrand in any other Chaos Army because he's the exile of Khorne. Like he's not allowed to go back to the realm of chaos.
Yeah.
So the fiction is just that he wandered into this battle. Like he's not technically on your side. He has a bonus rule when you do that if he's near one of your units, he has to fight it. So he's just kind of a neutral participant who wandered into this fight.
That's delightful.
It's very fun.
Nice.
But that is Helsmith.
Cool. I mean,
Two-
they're awful, but
Yeah,
cool.
right?
I enjoyed this immensely.
Yeah, it was fun talking about him. 2 episodes. This one was longer than the first one, which I wasn't expecting. Whoops. But I had a lot of fun talking about them.
Me too.
They're a neat faction. I'm excited to learn more about them. But that is our time for the evening. If you're...
Or in the morning or the middle of the day. Whenever you're listening to this episode.
Right, it's evening for us. Oh boy. But we hope you've had a good time. If you are interested in what we're going to be talking about next, I want a huge shout out to my friend of the show, James Cater. You can catch him as Broken Chef on Instagram, professional mini painter. He lent me a book for the Flesh Eater Courts. So if you heard us talking about Ushoran during the Soulblight episode and you're like, I want to know more about this crazy man, good news.
I am going to make so many Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island references
Good.
next time.
But in the meantime, I have been your Ashen Elder, Dalton Montgomery.
And I'm Darian Smart. And make sure you are, in fact, utilizing your cast in Hades too.
See you next time.
Bye.